And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to London is Not Dead. As always, I am Jeremy, better known as Darth Entruri on the internet. I am your storyteller for London is Not Dead. We took last week off due to some personal reasons, but we're back this week ready to bring you some more Vampire the Masquerade Anarch game set in London. With that being said, it is not about me, it is about the players that are in this game. I'm here just to moderate and throw things at them here and there. They're the ones who are actually telling this story. So, without further ado, let's start with Ash. And if there are any announcements or anything like that, go ahead and take care of those.
Sure. Hi guys, I'm Ash. I will be playing Gwendolyn. She is a feisty fashion designer who is part of Clan Toreador. And for announcements wise, we have our usual. And of course, on January 7th through the 10th, we will be having New Year Mentally Healthier You event brought to you by Jasper's Game Day, where we have phenomenal storytellers and DMs and players that is going to be taking part in charity streams. So please tune in. If I'm missing anything, I'm so sorry. But I think that's all we have for right now.
We'll go to Hudson next.
I'm Ryan. I'm going to be playing a half-blood Inquisitor, working for the Second Inquisition, the force that wiped out the vampires. I think it's been pretty interesting so far.
Well, they supposedly wiped the vampires out. Apparently that's not true because we have some kindred in London.
That is true, yeah.
And you are recently turned thin blood. Alright. Anything else?
I'm pretty sure that's it right now, right?
Then we're going to go to Fenrir or Gil.
Hello, I'm Gilanor. I run pay-to-play games on D&D most of the time. I run the Monday stream for Icewind Dale. I'm playing Fenrir, a Viking sort of biker gangrel who is helping Mr. Newblood look for his gear that he misplaced.
He didn't misplace it, you misplaced it.
He misplaced it by getting knocked unconscious. That would never happen to me.
This is true. Alright. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Alright, and last but certainly not least, we're going to go to Sasha or Mary.
Hello, I'm Mary. I'm playing Sasha, who's still not fully convinced that vampires exist, but she's slowly getting there. And that's it. I don't have any announcements.
Okay. Two newly turned kindred, two older kindred who have basically kind of taken them under their wing. But before we get to the story, Mary, would you please do the disclaimer, please?
Yes. The following presentation may and most likely will contain strong adult language, graphic descriptions of excessive violence, possibly sexual themes, and other scary stuff which may be disturbing for some audience. Viewer discretion is advised. Thank you.
Very well said. Thank you for doing that. As Mary just stated, Vampire and World of Darkness is a personal horror game. There will be things that will make people uncomfortable. There will be things that possibly trigger people. While it is not our intention to trigger any of our viewers, we do want you to know that there are possibly things that will happen in this that may cause a trigger effect in you. If that happens, feel free to shut the stream down, mute it, get up, walk away, take the time you need. Mental health is a serious thing. We do not want to hurt any of our viewers. We just want you to know that there may be things that come up that may make some people uncomfortable. With that being said, I'm going to do a brief recap and then we're going to get into the story. So, life got turned upside down for both Gwen and Gilanor, in a different sense than it did for Sasha and Hudson. Gwen and Fenrir, sorry I called Fenrir Gilanor, have been kindred for a while. And they've been hiding under the noses of mortals for decades, centuries. Until a night ago, when Sasha went with one of her contacts toward a meeting. They were approached by a group of men and attacked. Chandra, full well knowing that they were Second Inquisition, telling Sasha to trust her and run. Sasha was shot and had ducked into an alley. Chandra found her and was checking on her and lost to her beast and drained Sasha of her blood. And the guilt hit Chandra and she fed her vitae to Sasha, turning her into a neonate kindred. Mick, working for the Second Inquisition, was doing a bit of surveillance and was sent after two potential kindred. Losing track of them, he ducked down an alley to try to catch up with them, and not seeing the boot come from behind the dumpster, was knocked prone. Some stranger looked at him and basically told him to forget that he even existed right before he sunk his fangs into Mick and turned him into a kindred. Sasha was able to get in touch with Gwen and Fenrir, and they went to aid her. Fenrir, going and searching for clues, stumbled across Mick's body, taking off his armor and leaving it, along with his weapons, in the alley he found Mick in. There was a bit of interrogation. The Baron had already warned Gwen and Fenrir that there was possibility of the Second Inquisition retaliation. They went and introduced the two fledgling vampires to the Baron. Fenrir was informed that there was to be no actions taken against Chandra, that he understood that it was a personal situation, but Chandra really had no intent and felt extremely guilty. Gwen and Fenrir will be responsible for the teaching of traditions and vampire politics, while Chandra will be responsible for the Tremere side of Sasha's learning. You all happen to witness the 7 members of the Tremere group known as the Karna. And you both split off. You were going to head to the Red Lamb Inn, but before that, Fenrir and Mick were going to look for his weapons. Gwen and Sasha were on their way, and Gwen asked Sasha if she'd like to go racing. So, we're going to pick up with Gwen and Sasha in the car. So, Gwen, tell me a little bit about the race scene in London. Is it fairly big? You know,
So more underground. Well, it's not underground, it's above ground, but it's an underground kind of thing. It's gotta be legal. Shh.
So it's kind of like a Tokyo Drift or a Fast Furious type thing.
Right.
Sasha just want to go home and eat some more noodles, I think. But with you driving the car, you're kind of in charge of where you guys are going. So, I'm going to turn the game over to you.
I'm just saying, it's not going to take very long. In maybe hour, 2 at tops. Maybe less.
Okay, can we go grab that tomato juice first? Then you can take me wherever the fuck you want. Just,
Okay.
I'm really
We'll go.
hungry.
I understand that you're kind of on the hangry side, and I would be too, just being turned and in the situation that you're in. So let's go to the Red Lamb Inn. A wonderful friend of mine owns it, and I also may have to see somebody there. I wonder if he's still waiting. Uh-oh. So, yes, let's go. We'll get you some food, and you'll be good to go. Do you have of course not. You've just been turned tonight, so you don't have a flavor yet. We'll find it. Don't worry. I like Italian men.
I like to add salt and Tabasco to my juice.
Salt and Tabasco. I mean, if they're into that, you can do that. Like sprinkle a little.
I mean, everyone knows how to make Virgin Bloody Mary. It's really not rocket science.
Let's just. Do you have questions, Sasha? Before, because I can't do that right now. Do you have questions? Anything about this that you want to know about?
Do I have questions?
On
I
your new
do, but I feel like
situation.
I shouldn't enable this.
What are you talking about enabling?
You know, the mental. I don't know if it's like a breakdown. It still can be some like gas in the air release in the city. I don't know. But
Oh, you poor child.
Gwen, can you make me a drive check, please? Dex
Yes.
plus drive.
Do I need to add my hunger in there?
You do.
Huh? Yay. Okay. I have a new set of dice that I get to use. Yay. Okay. Dex plus drive.
Drive. Yes.
Okay. 6, 2. I love all the dice. Success, and success.
All right. So, as Gwen's talking with Sasha and you're driving, you're getting a bit frustrated because you're beginning to realize that Sasha is more than likely in denial. Could be post-traumatic stress from what happened. Could be anything, but you have the right of way, and as you're going, you just narrowly get through the intersection as a car comes barreling past behind you and crashes into another set of cars. But you continue on toward the Red Lamb, and we will pause right there because we're going to go to Mick and Fenrir. So, Mick and Fenrir, you guys went back to the alley where Fenrir found Mick. After a bit of investigation, you came to the conclusion that something had found Mick's gear and it was missing, and you had started kind of making your way through the area to see if you could find it. Would the both of you give me a wits investigation roll, please?
All right. I
One
got 3
success.
successes.
All right. So Fenrir, you're still a little upset about the whole situation with Sasha. You're really not happy that the kindred you're with is, has ties to the Second Inquisition. So you're still fuming about all that. You can deal with it. You'll make it work, but you're just a little out of it. Mick, you kind of notice, looks like somebody was dragging something that was too heavy for them to carry. And it goes over into a warehouse district. The feet that appear to be dragging this, it's really hard to make out, but they're rather small feet. Definitely human feet. But it seems to go toward kind of an old abandoned warehouse. What would you both like to do?
I assume we start heading towards it. Like, that just seems like the most logical conclusion.
Okay. Do you tell Fenrir what you see?
It looks like there's some tracks leading to the warehouse.
Alright, well, let's follow them then. Get this over with.
So as you get to this warehouse, like I said, it's compared to the other warehouses, it's worn down. It's a bit boarded up. But with the three successes, you do find an area to where one of the boards can kind of be moved out of the way. And apparently you can go into the warehouse if you would like. And the scene is now yours.
Alright, I'm gonna peek through the opening and make sure that there's nobody visibly inside the warehouse, because it'd be dumb to just walk in there and then immediately run into a guard, you know?
Okay. Give me a wits investigation.
1 success.
It's pretty dark in there. You don't really think you would imagine if there was a guard in here that there would be light, and there's no light.
I would like to activate my Eyes of the Beast so I can see in the dark.
Okay. That is a level 1 power, correct?
Yes, I believe so. I can double check if I need to.
No rouse check. Yeah, I believe Eyes of the Beast is level 1. So no rouse check. You activate them. You activate Eyes of the Beast. Give me just a second. All right. As you activate your Eyes of the Beast and you look in, you can kind of make out. There's a lot of stuff in here. There, makeshift tents, kind of tarps, kind of hung at angles to keep rain from a leaky ceiling from getting all over stuff. That's all you can really see from where you're at right now.
Okay. I'll move in.
Okay, so as you move in, like I said, there's makeshift lean-to tents, stuff like that. So someone clearly lives here, or several someones. As you go about, give me a wits investigation check, please.
Okay. 1 success.
you look around and you're still trying to find this gear because you want to get this over with because you want to go to the Red Lamb Inn, meet up with the rest of the coterie. And as you're looking around, you see the footprints and the drag marks that Mick told you about. And it seems to go further into this warehouse.
I'd like to call my dog,
Okay.
who I brought with in my truck, but I had assumed that he was just sort of following me around.
Yeah.
And I'll tell him to go follow the tracks with his nose.
Okay.
See
So
what he finds.
he will sniff. See what he finds. All right. So, what is your dog's name?
Wolf.
Wolf. So Wolf
In
kind of
case he dies, then I don't have to remember the next name.
fair enough. So Wolf kind of like sniffs at the ground where these tracks and the drag marks are, and kind of darts off, ever silently. And after a few minutes, you hear kind of someone, you're not really sure, but from the distance, you think you heard someone kind of like startled scream. And then Wolf starts barking.
Alright, I'm gonna go start moving towards the noise.
All right.
I'm gonna pull out my pistol and follow with him.
Okay. As you go further in, you get about halfway into this, and you realize, Fenrir, as you round the corner, you see Wolf and his larger than normal canine form has someone kind of backed into a corner who seems to be hunched over and is crying or sobbing.
Heal!
Wolf hears you and heals. Both of you give me a wits. Give me a wits awareness.
One success with a possible bestial failure.
3 successes.
So Mick, you see your gear by this kind of hunched over, sobbing form. You're just relieved to see your gear. Fenrir, with your 3 successes, though, you realize that this is a teenage girl. Her clothes are rather kind of dirty, holes in them. She has curly reddish hair, and she is sobbing uncontrollably. And
What are you crying about?
please don't hurt me. I found this stuff on the street, and I was gonna try to trade it in somewhere and get some money so I could get some food. I'm so hungry, and I didn't. Please don't let the dog eat me. I'm sorry. You can take it. You can have it. And
Stop
she just
babbling.
You're gonna ask her why she's scared with a hound like that? Come on, and I like sort of move towards her to like pick up the gear and try to reassure her.
Why would he eat you? You're nothing but string and bones.
Says the kindred who has his weapon drawn. And she kind of like looks at you, Mick, and she sees the gun. She's like, please don't hurt me. I'm sorry. Please, just take it and go away. I'm sorry.
Nobody's gonna hurt you unless you keep crying. I can't stand it.
Come on, man, it's a kid. She's scared. I like put the weapon back.
When
in
I
the
was her
holster.
age, I ripped a man's throat out with my bare fucking hands.
Well, you were her age a long time ago, and things were very different.
She breaks out into a hysterical bat of crying.
Look,
After
I'll
Fenrir
pay
said-
you to stop crying.
Just calm down, man. You know how you look to somebody her size?
Fenrir, I need you to make me a wits plus composure roll, please.
Oh yeah, I got lots of that. 5 successes.
Okay. You're very frustrated. And you can feel something in the back of your head trying to get to the forefront, trying to egg you, trying to push you. And as you feel this force against your consciousness, you just kind of shrug it off. And the girl she's not sobbing hysterically now, but she's kind of looking at you, and then to the dog, and then she looks to Mick. It's like, I don't want any trouble. I'm sorry.
Are you good at taking things from people that don't know you've taken them? Stealing, I mean?
You left it in an alleyway, Fenrir. It wasn't exactly stealing. She had no idea anyone was looking for
I'm
it.
asking for a different reason. Are you good at stealing things?
No, I go around looking for things that nobody wants it. Maybe I can trade at the cobblers and I found the stuff. Like he said, I didn't know it belonged to anyone. If I'd have known it belonged to someone, I would just left it there.
You want a job?
Why would you give me a job?
If you're good at finding things that people don't want, but might be useful, I might have a job for you. But you can't be crying around me anymore.
Give me a charisma. No, give me a manipulation persuasion.
Okay. I got lots of that too.
Don't forget to add your hunger dice.
Yeah, that's already in the little thing that I'm rolling.
Oh, that's
for,
right.
so-
You're using the app. That's right.
I got 3 successes.
She looks at you. She's like, I'll take the job.
Go to my bar, and I'll give her the directions. And ask for. Goodness, it's been a second. Garrett. Ask for Garrett. Tell him I sent you, and if there's any small jobs that he needs done that's not dangerous, to give it to you, and to pay you whatever he thinks is fair.
Oh, okay. I'm Anna, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Anna. I'm Fenrir. And there's an old woman lives in my block. And I'll give her the address to old lady Mabel, the one that I visited.
Mm-hmm.
She might have a place for you to stay so you don't have to live in these tents.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Fenrir.
And if you find anything interesting, I'll pay you for it.
Oh, okay. And she kind of leaves the stuff, and she slowly skirts her way around Wolf and the two of you, and heads out. Mick, give me a wits awareness, please.
All right. That's 2 successes.
As you're picking up your gear and Fenrir's, kind of surveying the area, and Anna leaves. For a second, you could have swore that you saw someone over in the shadows on the opposite side of the warehouse, just kind of with the same glowing red eyes like Fenrir. And then they were gone.
Somebody's over there.
Where?
I just point in the direction I saw the eyes as I reach for my gun.
I look in the direction.
You don't see anyone.
Yeah, well, whoever it was, they're gone. Grab your stuff and let's go.
No, it was two red eyes like yours, a gangrel.
Oh, it's not a gangrel. That could, anyone has those sort of powers.
That's fair. But my point
And if
is
it was
that
a
the
gangrel, he would have came out and told me hi. All the gangrels know me. It's probably just someone from the court. I wouldn't be too concerned about it. You're new blood. Probably watching you.
That's fair. Don't like being watched.
Well, get used to it. You're going to be watched by all the vampires, and you're going to be watched by all your friends. So you got to be extra careful. Not to piss either of them off, or you're going to be dead.
Not dead does sound like the goal.
So let's get back to the truck.
Okay, you kind of traverse the way that you entered into the building. You go back through the makeshift lean-tos, tents. As you're kind of leaving, you kind of realize that Anna's probably not the only person that makes this place home. This looks like there could be a massive amount of people possibly living here.
Well, I can't give them all jobs. And I don't want to disturb someone's feeding place, so we'll get out.
Okay. So, before you go back out, do you turn your eyes off? I assume you turn your eyes off before you got to Anna.
Yeah, if I saw her, like before I saw her, I would have turned them off. And yeah, I'll turn them off unless I need to see to get out. But yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay. So you both make it back to the street and you make it back to the truck. No problem. You get in the truck and are you gonna go to the Red Lamb Inn?
Yes, that was where we were supposed to go after we found this stuff. So yes, that's where I'll go.
You were gonna go and take the two new fledglings to feed, so you can find out if they
have a meal.
Yeah, to see if they had a specific palate for a certain type of vitae. So the two of you start across town, and we will hold right there as we jump back to Sasha and Gwen. You pull up to the front of the Red Lamb Inn. You do know that it is valeted. Gwen, being that you have been here a few times before.
I will hand my keys over to the valet boy. Tommy, I think, or was it Johnny?
It's Ashton, ma'am.
Ashton. That's your face looks familiar.
You look like a Tommy.
Your face looks like a Tommy. Here's the keys. Be careful with my baby, please.
Certainly. So, Mary, you've probably never been to the Red Lamb Inn, but it's a two-story building. Rather extravagant. The sign is actually looks probably to be about 200 years old, but in really good condition for a 200-year-old sign, just because of the make and how it's affixed to the building. And it basically has a lamb with laying on the ground with what kind of a red trail of liquid, which you would come to maybe surmise that maybe this is why it's called the Red Lamb Inn. And as you both enter in, you see the maitre d'. He sees you, Gwen. He said, "Ah, it's so good to see you again. Oh, you have did you bring your own, or are you wanting a table? Did you just need a private room?"
Well, two things. Yes to all of that. Is he also a kindred?
You know him to be a ghoul.
Cool, okay. I'm going to get really close to him. Our friend over here, and I'm pointing back to me, has been newly turned. So we need to find a flavor of her liking. Also, I'm supposed to meet Aaron, Eric, Roderick, Thomas.
That poor boy. That poor boy. Can't remember his name's Eric.
There we go, Eric. I'm supposed to meet Eric.
Give me a wits awareness. And as you're doing that, the is kind of like, oh, good. I'm glad. I thought you had brought your own meal. I'm so sorry to have gotten that confused. I was going to say that's not your usual taste.
That is 3 successes, but on my hunger die, that is a failure. It's a 3.
The 3? Alright, you're fine. You have successes. The only time you need to worry about that is when you get the only get that, and it's the fangy face on the hunger die. So Mary, as you look around, this is actually a rather lavish and nice restaurant. There are tables on the lower floor. There's a balcony with more tables. The maitre d' will take you both over to a corner booth. Ash, did you give me? You said you got 3 successes, right?
Yes.
You do not see Eric. He has apparently come and gone. It has been a bit of time. He probably figures that you stood him up again. But you get over to the booth, and the maitre d' kind of looks around. He's like, "Ma'am, do you have a preference?" He's talking to you, Sasha.
Yeah. I usually have my tomato juice with a pinch of salt and just a drop of Tabasco. I don't like it too spicy, but on its own, it's very mild.
He looks at you for a minute, and then he looks to Gwen, and then he looks to you.
Yeah, but I honestly don't think I'm gonna be full from tomato juice. I'm really hungry. Can we just have something normal, but not garlic noodles? Like, they made me feel sick today. I don't think I can touch them for another month.
I'll tell you what. I have an idea. Felipe, and he motions to a rather tall, looks to be Frenchman. Rather nice looking. He's like, "Could you get Gwen her usual? And could you get a Bloody Mary with a little bit of salt and a pinch of Tabasco?"
No, I was the only one around, but it works.
Felipe just kind of nods. Both of you give me a wits awareness. Please and thank you.
Also, after looking around, Sasha's gonna turn to Gwen and say, "This place looks ridiculously overpriced. You're paying."
That is fine, little one.
Somewhere in there.
3 successes.
Okay.
2 successes.
The both of you notice as Sasha as you're looking around, it's a very, very expensive place. So so Gwen is definitely paying because this is like above your price. But you both notice a man in kind of a black shirt with kind of a flowered type pattern on it, with long black fingernails, and he's kind of standing over in the corner. And Gwen, you know this to be Anatoles. He has rather long hair. He's not wearing a tie. The shirt is definitely nice. It's definitely something that Gwen has probably made. And he's talking with a woman with long blonde hair that flows to about the mid of her back. You can't really see much other than she is in a really nice dress. And Gwen, you would recognize this dress anywhere. This is definitely Nelly G fashion. Nelly G being your, the person you look up to, your icon. And Anatoles is talking with a woman, and as he kind of looks around the room, he sees you, Gwen, and he gives a kind of a wave, and he does a one moment, and goes back to talking to the woman. So the scene is now yours.
Oh, that is the owner of the restaurant, correct?
Yes.
That is the owner of the restaurant. He'll be here in just a minute. But you see that dress? Oh, God, I love that dress so much. I made something similar to it, but it could never match up to Nelly G's craft. Of course, you don't know who Nelly G is. We have so much to teach you.
Or no?
This is not a game, Sasha. We took you to the Baron. You've seen Fenrir turn into an animal.
I know. It's more like a cult than a game, I guess.
It's not the cult. I mean, it is not the cult.
Mm-hmm.
I like how casual she is at the idea that it could be a cult.
We are... There's not a lot of us. We're still here. But this is not the game. This is not a joke. This is not a cult. You're going to have to feed to survive. You're going to have to wake up. And it's only been an hour or 2. So I'll give you some time. But you're going to have to come to realization that your normal life is no more. There's no more garlic noodles. There is no more walking in the sun.
I was never a fan of sun anyways.
Sunlight. I miss it so much.
And it's about that time that Anatoles makes it over to your table, and he looks and he smiles. Gwendolyn, dear, it's so lovely to see you. It feels like it's been ages. And who might your friend be?
This is our newly turned Tremere. Sasha.
Oh, I didn't know that the Tremere were going about and siring progeny again. Oh, that's spicy. Oh.
They're not. It's a long story, Anatoles. I'll tell you about it later over drink.
And Anatoles extends his hand to you, Sasha. His long black fingernails. Very nice. whatever like effects artist he went to, these nails are pristine and would pass for real fingernail. Anatoly, at your service, Lady Sasha.
Hey,
Do you take it? Do you shake his hand?
yes. But like,
And-
when I get close to it, I try not to get hooked into the nails.
Okay, so as you take his hand, he smiles, and you notice his eyes kind of roll back into his head, and they go like they glass over white. And he stands there for probably a minute or two.
Holding my hand. Not
Yes.
letting go of it. Oh, after like
Yeah.
10 seconds, I would probably try to back out.
So as you try to pull your hand out of his hand, he has a considerable grip on it. So give me a strength. Give me a strength brawl.
Yeah, it didn't matter. One success on one die.
So as you try to pull your hand, it's not that he's like, you've seen shows where people have visions, and this is like one of those shows. So like, he's not holding your hand in a manner that hurts you. He's just got a very tight grip on your hand and is not letting go. And after about a minute, his eyes ungloss over, and he looks at you and he's like, my apologies. Sometimes I cannot control that. He looks at Gwen. Chandra?
Yes.
Oh,
Sandra is her sire.
you're the one that Chandra couldn't stop talking about, who was going to do great things for the Karna. Oh, my dear, my dear, my dear. Anatoly, many call me the Mad Prophet. But you can call me Anatoly. And just as Gwen and the others are welcome here, you are welcome here. Mikasa Sukas.
Thanks. Probably can't afford it, but maybe someday?
No, Mikasa Sukasa. It costs you nothing.
Cool. And she's in her head wondering if during her vision he has seen her, like, I don't know, taking a shower naked and he's just being a creep.
Anatoly, real quick, who was the long blonde woman?
Oh, that's one of the representatives from the tower. You know, I keep a fairly neutral stance. The camera.
That dress she was wearing was gorgeous.
She, like you, is a very big fan of Nelly G. I did slip her your card, though, and told her there was only one other person I knew that could compare to Nelly G.
Anatoly, you're so wonderful, thank you. Your shirt is beautiful. I know because I did it.
I was going to say, my dear, you made it.
I know.
And we're going to pause right there and go back to Mick and Fenrir. So, as the two of you make your way across town, Fenrir, the question is, have you ever been to the Red Lamb Inn? Is it something that you would do with Gwen? Or, well, not with Gwen, but is it somewhere that you would go to conduct business? You do know it is a neutral site.
Yeah, probably if I'm fairly high in status, so if I have to, associate with the other individuals, like maybe the sheriff or the baron, I probably would go there to meet with them, but not necessarily for my own feeding habits.
Yeah, with your work with the bikers, maybe you rented them security.
So, You do know that when you get there, someone is going to... The valet will take your truck and park it. Depending on who it is, when you get there from time to time, there are... It's not the type of vehicle they're used to having at the establishment because it is a rather nice establishment, but there are some people that do appreciate your truck.
It's like one of those old trucks. It's not like a new, like, it's not fancy. It's old.
Well, and that's why sometimes you get those. Are we on candid camera? You know, and then other times you get the, oh man, that's like a classic. You know, still got the original fender. But you know, one of the valets just every time you show up, just goes on about how classic your truck is. But you get there, it is not that valet, it is actually one of the ones that they see you, and you see them as you're pulling up, they like look and they see your truck, and they kind of let out a sigh because they've dealt with you before, and to most people you come across as abrasive. So they just want to make this as quick as possible so that they have to interact with you as little as possible. And you get there, and the valet opens the door for Mick, and then we'll come around and open the door for you, unless you've already gotten out.
Yeah, I get out. I'm not letting him open my door. I'm not a little girl.
Okay. I'll take, I assume you leave the keys in because you're used to this.
Yeah.
Would you like me to park it where I normally park it?
Yes.
Okay. He gets in, and he clearly seems very uncomfortable getting into this truck. But he goes off. And you go in, and you both see the same thing. As you walk in, there's a kind of a podium with a maitre d', and he sees you, and...
One second. I posted an image of what my idea truck would be. I don't know if Mary can put the image up so that people can see in the stream. If she can, that'd be cool. But
You just gotta give me a minute.
Alright, well we can if you want to continue while she does that.
So as you walk in, you've been here, you've met with the Baron, the Sheriff, the Seneschal at times. As you walk in, the maitre d' sees you and is, Fenrir, how are you? It's been ages. It's a night full of surprises. Gwendolyn's here with a friend. You're here with a friend.
He's not a friend. He's just a new blood.
Well, would you like a private table? Would you like to join Miss Gwendolyn?
With Gwen.
Very well. And he'll lead you over to the table. Miss Gwendolyn, I believe you know Fenrir, and his new friend.
Oh, yes. Sit.
We managed to find his lost stuff.
Very good. You shouldn't have gone losing it in the first place.
Yeah, I
He's
told
one
him
who
the same
lost
thing. Yeah, well, if you didn't go unconscious like a little baby, that wouldn't have happened.
I got knocked over the head. I can't help that.
Yeah, you can.
I
Don't
mean,
get knocked on the head.
don't be a part of the Second Inquisition.
Scandalous! Scandalous, Gwendolyn! Gwendolyn! And Fenrir, you know this to be Anatoles, the proprietor, the Malkavian that owns this place.
Could you say that any louder?
I didn't say it that loud.
I don't know if the people in the back heard you.
I didn't say
You
it that loud.
trying to get me killed?
Anatoly, and he reaches his hand out to you, Mick.
Mick, and I reach out and shake it.
As he grabs your hand, he's got a very firm grip, and he's shaking your hand, and much like what happened with Mary, his eyes gloss over white, and he's still shaking your hand, for a good minute. And then his eyes ungloss over. Oh my. We should go to my office.
Is there a problem?
We should go to, and he motions to all of you. At about that time, Felipe comes over with a Bloody Mary. Felipe, if you would, send Miss Gwendolyn's meal up to my office. Mick, do you have a preference? Would you like a Bloody Mary too?
I'll have a whiskey.
Okay. Fenrir, what would you... your usual?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
You've been here enough. He knows your preference on feeding. Mick, when you say
to hunt somebody and then beat him up, but but I'll take the second preference.
And he looks at you rather amused as you say a whiskey, Mick. And he starts and motions for the rest of you to follow him.
Before I go upstairs when I tell them, can you tell them instead of a Bloody Mary and a whiskey, bring them one of my usual and Fenrir's usual, and we'll see which one they like more.
Do you really think I serve bloody? It's fine.
Oh
here.
no,
It's fine here. It's fine. And he will go up the stairs, and he opens a door, kind of a oak door, into an office, and it's a rather large office. So much that there's still plenty of room, even with all 5 of you in there. And Anatoles motions to a number of chairs as he closes the door. Gwen, Fenrir, you both know that they call me the Mad Prophet for a reason.
What did you see?
I saw fire. Fire like the sun. These two, and he motions to Sasha and Mick, are intertwined. Therefore intertwining Fenrir and your fate.
Look over
The
to
vision.
Fenrir.
The vision was very discreet. I wish it was more in-depth as some of my other visions. So my advice to the 4 of you is to be cautious, be on guard, and be ever vigilant, because at some point fire will come.
Yes, Anatoles.
Do you mean like literal fire or symbolic?
That's the thing with visions. You can never be sure. It was flamed like the sun, so therefore it could mean that the sun is coming for you all. Or that you're going to meet your death in the sun. Or that someone's going to burn down your haven. And let's face it, this place has seen enough fire and burning some 12 years ago. I prefer that not happen again. Oh, come now, Mr. Second Inquisition. I'm sure they have classes for light. Don't they teach that to you? Operation First Light, Operation Antigen, where most of the kindred in the city were wiped out.
I was there, but I didn't see this place on the list. I don't remember it.
It's because my place is never on the list. So my suggestion to you, Mick, is that you be very careful. Because your actions could have dire consequences for your three. We'll use the term friends very lightly.
Caution does make sense. Everybody already wants me dead at this point. I don't need to add more to the list.
I would keep it under lock that Mick is former Second Inquisition.
Yes.
That could bring all of you unneeded attention. Not just from the Anarchs, but the Camarilla. And there's rumors that the Sabbat aren't so enthralled with the Middle East anymore.
Oh, really?
We heard this from the Baron already.
Oh, that's
Looks like somebody missed the message.
Do you say that to Anatoles?
I was saying that in the general direction of Gwen.
You should probably teach him the proper ways to go about the traditions.
Oh, I'm not in charge of him. Fenrir is in charge of him.
You are a coterie,
True. Yes. I
so
will
there
help guide.
you should help guide. Exactly.
And as they're talking, Sasha has her phone out and is clearly texting something. And what she's doing is she's putting into notes some of the stuff they're saying, like Second Inquisition, Camarilla, trying to research them in research engines.
Oh dear, dear. No. Don't do that.
No, it's fine.
You won't really.
This
That's
engine
how
is
they
secure.
that's how they find you.
And you won't really find very much. A lot of conspiracy theories. You know, like the pyramids were built by the aliens. Ah.
Well, yeah, isn't that what it is?
The Camarilla is a different group. They believe in something slightly different than us. That's really it. And the
Do they-
Sabbat, you should hope that you don't meet them because they're not pleasant at all.
What, do they have like a different lore? They go with Twilight and you guys fight over it?
No, they're more violent than that. Have you seen 30 Days of Nights? Sort of like that. They just kill to kill.
I don't think I've ever heard it referred to as kind of like the battle in Twilight, but no, she does have a point. She does have a point.
Oh no,
I
I don't
thought
know
that
what's
was the
battle
werewolves.
in Twilight because I haven't seen it. I was just thinking like just maybe fans of different fandoms are fighting about the rules of the lore. Like, sun kills them. No, it doesn't. It makes them shine. Silver kills
I
them.
suppose you
No,
could
it
say that
doesn't.
Carmilla and the Anarchs are a bit like that. We fight over rules in a way. But the Sabbat, they're completely different. Where the Camarilla and the Anarchs differ, the Sabbat differ a lot more.
I can assure you, you will be able to tell the difference between an Anarch, a Camarilla member, and a Sabbat. The Sabbat will be foaming at the mouth, killing everything in its path.
One time I heard about a Sabbat that turned a whole bus of people into vampires just to let them loose on a city.
That does happen.
I heard that story as well.
It's not just buses, they've done it to boats. They've done it to entire buildings. They are the monsters that we try not to be. And it's about that time that there's a knock at the door. And Felipe comes in with Gwen and Fenrir's usual and second usual. Felipe hands a Bloody Mary to Sasha. And Mick, this is the weirdest looking whiskey you've ever seen.
The hell is this?
Drink it.
But what is it? This doesn't look like any whiskey I've ever seen.
It'll sustain you and make you feel better. Just drink it and don't ask questions.
It's English whiskey.
English whiskey.
It's called blood wine. You never heard of it?
Blood wine is very different from whiskey.
Yeah, this is a
Get used
Viking
to it.
whiskey.
Get used to it.
All I want here is a normal whiskey.
It's normal, I assure you.
Normal for you now. This is your normal.
What's in it?
Drink it and tell me.
I'm not drinking it till you tell me. This could be poison for all I know.
Yeah, and
I
if
think
it was
blood
poison,
wine
he would
is
tell
very
you for
concerning. So where does it come from exactly?
It comes from a finely aged cask.
What went into the cask?
Lots of hard work and fruition.
Sure. From the looks of it, a dead cat.
Yeah, but I think I'll pass.
Very well.
Fenrir. They're going to die. They're just going to flat out die.
Well,
I'll give you a choice, Mick. You can drink it, or I'll break your kneecaps.
Now. This is my domain. Violence is forbidden.
I'll break your kneecaps outside of here.
Do you happen to have like a bedroom that I can rent if that's the case?
You can stay at my place if you'd like.
No, I mean if you can't break my kneecaps here, why would I leave?
Oh no, I don't want you in my... You're definitely not staying here.
He's not going to break your kneecaps, Nick. Just drink the drink.
Then what's in it?
It's blood. Do you need to know anything more than that?
Then why would I drink it? Where did it come from?
A person.
Do you guys just kill people and then make food out of it then?
No.
Well, I mean that's obvious, but like...
If we did that, everyone would be dead.
Precisely. Thank
so
you,
you
Fenrir.
just keep somebody chained up and drain them like this?
Can you show them how the meat's made?
Can you take him back to the
vegan or
kitchen?
something?
You know what? I have a solution. Let's show them how the meat's made, and then they'll both have to make do with what they find out.
Hey, I actually, I don't have problem with my Bloody Mary. When I got it, I wanted to sniff it and see it if it like feels like tomato juice.
It's not tomato juice, it's blood. It comes from people.
Can you read my thoughts?
Oh, I thought you were saying it in person, my bad.
No.
So do you sniff your drink?
Mm-hmm.
It smells. It smells really good. You are so thirsty right now, so hungry.
I'm totally gonna drink it then. Can I get a straw for it though?
Felipe, and Anatoles snaps his finger. Felipe hands you a straw.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm gonna sip my Bloody Mary.
And as it goes down, you feel the sudden urge to just drink this Bloody Mary as fast as you can. Something inside of you
I'll slurp
pushing
it
you
all.
forward. And as you do, you slate 2 points of hunger.
You feel better?
Oddly enough, you don't feel hungry anymore.
Yeah, I was starving. I really didn't think a glass of juice can fill me up, but it seemed to work. Thanks.
The power of the juice.
Yeah, it's very healthy for you.
Yes, it is. Thank goodness for tomato juice.
Anatoly looks at you. I'll give you the number of the person that supplies me with my tomato juice. It comes in a bag.
Okay.
Thank you.
I probably won't want to have a tomato juice too often. It just doesn't sound like a everyday deal, but when I crave it, I'll use it. Thanks.
Look, the Fenrir. She'll be using it often. I'm going to pull out my cell phone and I'm going to text Eric. Hey, sorry, I ran into some issues and I got here and I seen you wasn't here. Sorry that I missed you.
A few minutes go by, you don't get a message back. Anatoly kind of just looks at Mick and he's just smiling. Would it make you feel better if you saw how the drinks were made?
I still doubt I'll have one, but I at least want to know what the fuck you do with them.
I think it'll help convince both of them.
Follow me.
I've never actually seen them do like blend the tomatoes,
You'll
or
find out, girly. Come on.
or do you have like a really, really, really big juicer?
Anatoly kind of leads you down the same stairwell you came up, and in through the kitchen doors, and you go past the normal kitchen, and you go to a walk-in freezer, and Anatoly opens the door. If you'll follow me, please. And Gwen and Fenrir, you've been here before. You know that this is the back room where that they store various types of kindred preferences. And Anatoly kind of punches a number code on a pad that none of you can see. He does it so fast. And a hidden door slides open, and there's another set of stairs. He leads you downstairs into a room, and it's rather lavishly set up. There are kind of like love seats with people just kind of like lounging on them, seem to be euphorically enjoying themselves. With what look to be tubes running from them to a machine. You see people from all walks of life. And you see, Sasha, give me a wits awareness.
Five successes, critical win if success.
You see that one of the kind of the tubes going from one of the people to a bag. And then you watch someone come over and take this bag, and they pour it into a similar goblet like you were just drinking out of.
So, does the different blood type taste differently?
Yes.
You know, my mama always told me my blood's very sweet, because all the mosquitoes wanted to always bite me.
Your mother sounds like a wonderful woman.
Yeah, she's okay.
He looks to Mick. Follow me.
So you just use people, trade them like bottles of wine.
No, not like bottles of wine. The people that come here to do this do it willingly. They're known as blood dolls, but your taste is a little bit more extravagant.
Do you give
If
them
you'll follow me.
chocolate? Because when you donor
Fair
blood at
enough.
hospital, they give you chocolate afterwards.
We give them whatever they want. They do it willingly. And he leads you all even further. And he hits another set of keys that, again, is so fast that none of you can see what it is. And a door slides to the side. And a circular set of stairwell that leads down. Gwen and Fenrir, you have never been to this part of the Red Lamb. So as
Been
you...
here before.
Well, I figure it's time you've seen it. He has a unique taste. Go down the spiral staircase, and as you get down, there are sconces with torches in them. And there's a body. Much like the bodies upstairs, except it's on a slab of concrete or cement, or almost like an altar, with tubes coming out of it, going to various different types of glasses, bags, barrels. And that's where we're going to take our break. And we're back. So, a lot going on here. We found Mick's weapons and gear. The coterie has been introduced to the Mad Prophet. Well, the new members of the coterie have been introduced to the Mad Prophet Anatoles, who is the proprietor of the Red Lamb Inn. And seeing that Sasha and Mick are a little hard-pressed to accept things for the way they are, he has taken them to show them how certain meals are prepared here. Sasha realizes that her Bloody Mary may not be, well, is actually a Bloody Mary. Or a Bloody John, or Bloody someone.
That
And
is
just
what
before
they
we went...
want her to believe.
Yeah, you're still on like Punked or Jackass or something. And Anatoles took you even further into the recesses of the Red Lamb Inn as you descended a staircase to find a body laying on a Altar? Concrete? Not really sure what's going on.
Yeah, not a cult. Kind of like says in low voice to Gwen.
It's not a cult.
So, Mick here has a rather more unique taste, I guess, passed on from his sire. He likes to drink from kindred. And he motions to... You're not really sure. Is it a man? Is it a woman? There's no sense of gender whatsoever of this kindred.
I'm gonna turn to Fenrir real quick. Is it a normal thing? I've not met very many kindred who drink from other kindred. Have you?
Yes.
Oh.
You would both know that it is a rather... It's not rare. It is not really looked well upon. So that's kind of 2 strikes for Mick. So you guys are going to have to keep him out of the limelight.
Most of the time, people like that just get hunted down and killed.
We're going to have to make a game plan, Wolfman, because he cannot be seen where I'm seen at all the places.
What?
Oh,
So I'm
Gwen,
supposed to
dear.
tote him around?
Like maybe like have him stay at your bar or something. We need to figure out something we need to do with him. He can stay at my place if you want him to.
He has his own place.
I don't think it's a good idea though.
Guys,
What
I
harm
think
can
he's
come from
also right here, and you're talking about him like he's not here.
Yeah, I can stay at my place. I don't see why there's a problem with it.
She thinks that you're going to get yourself in trouble one of these days. You're going to get hungry, and you're going to go looking for a snack in the wrong place, in the wrong time, and the wrong vampire. Or kindred.
Or what happens if your people you work for figure out what you are? I mean, if you die, but you're kind of our project. Looks to Fenrir.
Project.
You're
So
under
I'm a
our
project now.
protection. You're not my project. That's her words, not mine. Your sire's dead, so you're as much my responsibility.
I believe what Fenrir is trying to say is that as a coterie, all of your actions are intertwined. He is responsible for actions that you take, things that you do, words that you say.
If you fuck up, I fuck up, and I don't like fucking up.
That means
But if I just move houses or vanish or poof one day, they're going to be looking more on where I went missing around your bar and around this restaurant.
I agree. I think you should go to your home and stay there, but I think that you need to be careful.
Mick, is it this
I'm
time
already being
that
careful.
you realize that you've been called twice by an unknown number telling you need to report in?
Honestly, I should go see them soon. Otherwise, they're going to suspect something anyway. They've already called me twice.
Sure. You should go in. I agree. You're no good to me dead.
I would wager that it's probably not a wise idea.
I agree.
At least not without drinking and eating.
This is fair. I feel like a vampire seems much more reasonable than a human. I can live with that.
I'm not feeding him, Fenrir. That's not a part of the deal. I am not giving him my blood.
Well, if he has to eat, we'll figure something out. I'm
Just
not giving
have to
him
eat.
mine either.
I don't
I
want
feel
him
like
bounded
our
to me.
friend here looks like a pretty good solution, like just gesturing at the person on the slab.
Mhm. So you'd rather eat from your own kind than
Not my own kind. I'd rather eat from a vampire.
which is your own kind.
Kindred.
Yeah?
Kindred.
Of course.
You-
Why wouldn't I?
No, stop using the term vampire and use the term kindred.
What's the difference? It means the same thing.
Different.
Well, it's sort of like saying the N word around black people. You probably shouldn't do it.
I see.
You should never do it. No.
Yes, you should never use that word. But Fenrir's analogy made this one understand.
I'll be more careful.
As Fenrir so rightly put it, if you fuck up, we fuck up. And I'm very much with my wolfy friend over here. I don't like to fuck up. So let's feed and move on.
And
We have
you
bigger
should
things.
maybe go report in.
Yeah, I will as soon as we're done here.
Well, the last thing for you to do is to drink your whiskey.
Did we bring it down with us?
I would assume that you would have, unless you left it sitting on a table or something.
Alright, so with a grimace, I look down at it and then just swig it.
As it hits your gullet, you feel refreshed. The hunger starts to be sated. What's your hunger at?
3.
You are now at 1 hunger. You lose 2. You save 2 hunger.
Awesome.
My suggestion to you, Mick, is that you be very careful in dealing with your former confidants.
I will be.
Do you need me to rough you up a little more?
Maybe.
He'll heal
Fenrir.
right back up though.
Do you know it doesn't work that way?
I mean, if you want to, though.
The door will open as you show yourself out. Gwen, would you stay with me for a moment?
Yes.
Fenrir, as always, you're a man of few words, and most of them are very violent. But it has been good to see you.
Oh, do you have any kind of issues that need resolving? Anything that you've heard about? We spoke to the Baron today, and he mentioned a few possible Sabbat sightings.
They steer far clear of me,
Okay.
but I appreciate your concern.
Well, if you ever need anything, you know where to call. Oh, I have Tommy's number now.
If I need you, I'll get in touch with Gwen.
Yeah, there you go. That's the best way to do it.
I don't know who this Tommy is.
He's a good guy. Lost his phone recently.
Did he lose it or did you take it?
Both.
Sasha, it was a pleasure to meet you. As I stated above, Mikasa Sukasa. Now, if you excuse me, I need to speak with Gwen in private.
Okay. Thanks. Nice meeting you.
Come on,
It was a-
Sasha, let's get you home.
Bye.
And Anatoles kind of watches and he kind of listens. And once he hears you all go through the door, he looks at Gwen. How in the world did you get yourself mixed up in this?
And I tell you, I don't know how it happened. I just simply needed to rent out a place, and Fenrir's place was available. He's been very difficult to deal with, but figured out something. Which, by the way, you're absolutely invited to the fashion show. I'd love to see you there. But that's so that one thing led to another, and here I am. The girl, though, she's been a friend for just a little bit. So helping her out means a lot. Him, though, and different. Maybe it's because I just remember what happened before 2012. It just makes me very on edge.
He is most likely the fire I saw in the vision. The four of you are now intertwined, and your own lives depend on you all working well together. Sasha should learn as much as she can from Chandra and the Tremere. Mick has put a target on all of your backs, not just from the Second Inquisition, but from our kind as well. If the Baron's correct about the Savant, that's just another sword we have to deal with in time.
Understandable. I will behave, Anatoles.
It is not that I'm worried about you behaving. I'm worried that your two new neonates won't understand in enough time to keep you all from burning.
Understood. Any suggestions? You've been around a little bit longer than I have.
I'm older than Fenrir. I've seen a thing or two. I've seen kindred deny what they've become, to the point that they've gone out during the day and turned to a pile of ash. I know of another kindred who is former SI. And he reaches into his breast pocket and pulls out a card and hands it to you. Perhaps having him talk to your young friend Nick might put things in a fresher light.
His name?
He goes by Entity now.
Any certain time I should call him, or just as soon as possible?
You could give him a call probably in the next few days.
For the show, then I'll give him a call.
What night is your show?
What night is the show, dear? Storyteller?
You look at your planner and you realize that it is tomorrow night.
I have been running around like a fool with his head cut off. It's tomorrow. Or a chicken. Whatever that terminology is.
I believe the humans still use chicken, like a chicken with its head cut off.
That one.
So yes, it's at Fenrir's place.
Yes.
Alright, I'll be there.
I'm looking forward to see you. If you would like, I do have a few of the other kindred that will be joining. If you would like to cater, you are welcome to, and I will, of course, pay you.
No money is necessary. I will gladly cater to. And next time, when you're looking for a place, call my number. Don't call and talk to the front desk. They will tell you my place is booked.
That's what I did. I called and they told me it was booked, and then I just stopped. And then I let my niece take care of the rest, and she's been trying, bless her heart.
Yes, next time, call me specifically.
I will. Thank you, Anatoles.
You're welcome. Be
I
ever
hope it's
vigilant.
Yes, sir. I shall. I'll give Entity a call in a couple of days.
Very good.
I'll make my way out of the office and meet up with the rest.
Okay, so while this is going on, the three of you kind of exit, kind of wondering why Anatoles wants to talk to Gwen, maybe. But as you kind of exit, you exit the cellar / mausoleum area back into the room that has the blood dolls donating their blood. Then yet still through the kitchen door out into the inn / restaurant's main dining area. And the three of you see a rather... Well, Sasha, you recognize this to be the woman that Anatoles was talking to earlier. A woman with blonde hair to about the middle of her back. Rather elegant, in a very nice dress. Fenrir, Mick, you guys would, knowing that Gwen is a fashion designer, would just assume that it was probably something made by her. It looks rather nice. The woman is rather beautiful. She has these piercing jade green eyes, a very pale complexion. And she sees the three of you and, oh, hello. You were the ones who were speaking with Anatoles. I am Rebecca. I'm from the tower. And Fenrir, when she says tower, you know she's Camarilla. You do know that Anatoles' restaurant / inn is a neutral ground where people from the Anarchs and the Camarilla come to talk. It being neutral, there are rumors that there have been peace talks between the Camarilla and Sabbat at times in Anatoles' place. Never truly confirmed.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Fenrir.
Fenrir, that's a rather unique name.
I'm a rather unique person.
I would say so. And she kind of looks over Mick and she looks at Sasha. And the two of you are?
Mick,
Hey, Sasha.
and this is Sasha.
It's a pleasure to meet both of you. Are you here for business or pleasure?
We were just here with Gwen. We're leaving. We had a quick meal and that's about it.
Have you, it's really none of my business, but have the three of you and your friend Gwen ever considered joining the tower? The protection and the luxury that it can offer far exceeds anything that the Anarchs could ever offer you.
As you could probably tell, I'm not much need of protection. And as long as my two friends are close to me, they don't need it either. But you can tell them all you like, if you want, if they care to hear it.
Oh, well, and she reaches into her bag and she hands both Mick and Sasha pamphlets that have a kind of a they're black kind of like flyers with like gold embroidery of like a tower. As you if you
I kind of lean over to Sasha and I say, "You don't like technology. You probably wouldn't fit in."
Oh, that's fine. I'm still figuring out this cult. I can't join another one already. Sorry.
Oh, well, just take the information and feel free to look through it, and if you change your mind, how to get into contact with us.
Sure. Just gonna fold the flyer nicely and put it away in her bag.
And it's about this time that the maitre d' notices that Rebecca has kind of like not really cornered you guys, but has like approached you, and he comes over and he's like, "Oh, Fenrir, I have the valet's getting your vehicle as well as Gwendolyn's. Can I show you to the door?"
Yes, please.
And he kind of like, as you guys are walking away, he kind of looks over his shoulder. It's like, totally told me that if she was harassing any of the patrons to help them leave without too much of a scene.
It's alright. She couldn't harm anybody.
Well, no, but you know who the city belongs to. They want to move back in here and make it theirs, and Anatoles likes it the way it is.
Yeah, I worked for them for a while. Don't think I'll be going back anytime soon.
And it's about this time that Gwen comes up and comes to the door, and you see the same woman. You see the maitre d' is hurriedly getting the rest of your coterie to the door as if prompted to, and if you know Anatoles, he's probably told them that if they're being harassed or questioned, that to get them out.
I'm just gonna move myself along as quickly as I can.
Gwendolyn, is that you?
Under my breath. I thought you looked familiar. It's so good to see you.
Oh, I begin to wonder if you've forgotten me. I mean, we only went to design school together.
I know, and that dress you're wearing is absolutely beautiful.
Nellie made it personal for my appointment.
Of course. Send my regards to her. Love her.
She is amazing.
Absolutely. I have to run, unfortunately, but tomorrow I'm having an event, and if you want to step by, you're more than welcome, and you can see the new season's fashion. Um,
I would
but
love it. Where is it here?
no, unfortunately. But it's at a new up and coming bar. Um, it's all the rage.
My dear, a bar?
But it's not just any bar. It's Fenrir's bar, and it's very up and coming. It's like shabby chic. Is definitely this season. It's
He's
in.
sort of behind her, going like this.
Sasha's gonna send Gwen a text message saying if you wanna diss her, tell her that she can come for inspiration and next time maybe she can make her own dress.
I just kind of sneakingly read it. Yes, you can. You might find some inspiration. Um, because I get my inspiration from Nelly, of course.
Don't we all?
Yes. But as I said, I need to get going. But it's tomorrow night, and I'll tell her the time. 8 p.m.
And she puts it in her phone. And where was the location?
Fenrir's Bar.
Is that what this place is called? Fenrir's Bar.
What is it called? What's your bar called?
I can tell you 1 second. I wrote it down. It is called the Wolf's Rest.
The Wolf's Rest.
Sounds like a lovely place. I'll be there.
It's very up and coming. Tell all of your friends about it.
I surely will.
Ta-ta! And I'll do air kisses. And okay.
She returns them.
And then I will. Is my car pulled up to the valet?
It is. As the four of you get outside, Fenrir's truck is in front, and Gwen's car is behind Fenrir's truck.
Sasha, can you ride with me?
Sure. I kinda wanted to go for the race, but
We can go to the race, sure. The night's so young.
Then you can follow me.
I just wanted to be in the car for the race, so I just don't want to watch it. I can watch it.
Oh, you can.
if
We
I
can
want
go to the race in my truck, and then you can join in the car. How's that sound?
Sure.
I guess you're going with me, huh, little one? Pointing to Mick.
I wouldn't say that, but yeah, I do need a ride.
Does
Okay.
you need to? Are you gonna go to your friends now?
Yeah, you should probably drop me off somewhere in the area and then I'll get a cab from there. Otherwise, it'll look suspicious. We don't want like ties between us when they can see me.
Sure. That works for me.
Okay.
I
So
will meet you
Sasha,
guys. Oh, sorry.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I will meet you guys, and I'm gonna text Sasha the address. Fenrir, I have a gift for you. I'll get it for you tomorrow.
Okay. Is it that little box that tells you where to go? Because I had one of those. She was a bitch, so I threw her out the window.
Are you talking about the navigation?
The GPS,
The navigation
I
that
guess.
tells you what to do. That
She
is why
kept
you're
saying,
always
take
here.
a right turn in 500 feet. How fucking far is 500 feet? I don't have a goddamn ruler on me.
Oh, that's why you were late for the first meeting. Now it all makes sense.
I
No,
just
and
kept taking right turns every time. I don't.
it tells you where to go. If it says make a right turn in 500 feet, you turn when it says turn. She just keeps talking.
Well, then she needs to talk less. It's confusing. Maybe if I had a guy giving me the directions, I'd be able to understand it better.
They have a setting for that.
Oh, I'll have to get Sasha to put that on then.
It is no difference than male and female. They both do this. You know what? No. I sent Sasha the message.
It's fine.
You
I
guys will...
have an idea what I'm gonna do for him.
Thank you. I will see you guys in a few moments. I'm going to go drop off this one somewhere.
Sure. Good luck. Don't get killed.
And I'm going to hop in the car. I hope you don't mind. And I'm going to put my seatbelt on. Please put your seatbelt on. Even though we are undead, we still can get hurt. So I hope you don't mind fast.
Of course. And I go over to Fenrir's truck first, and I pull out my body armor, and I just kind of put it under the seat when I hop in.
Okay. The second he hops in and he is getting ready to put his seatbelt on, I'm going to take off as fast as I can.
Okay. Give me a Dex plus drive.
Okay.
Mick, give me a Dex plus athletics.
Ooh, that was good.
All right.
3 successes, and one of them is a 10.
Okay.
1 success.
So, Gwendolyn, as you're getting in and you close the door and you're tucking your armor under the seat, or trying to, Gwendolyn takes off, and as she does, your head kind of goes forward because of the momentum, and you kind of smack your head on the dash. You take 1 point of superficial damage.
Did I hurt you? I'm so sorry about that.
Fuck, my nose!
It'll heal up in no time. I'm so sorry.
At least now it'll look like I've been in an alley fight.
And who knew? It just had to take a beating from my car.
I mean, joke's on you, there's blood all over the upholstery now.
Nah, no different than Saturday night.
This is
No
a hell of
different
a
from when
car, where'd you get it?
no different from when Sasha bled in your car that you didn't notice.
Right, I didn't notice that. I got it a few years ago. I dropped a LS2 in it and supercharged it a little bit. And she's a beast now. Her name is Susan.
Susan, I like it.
Where do you want to be dropped off at, Mick?
Probably Fenrir's bar, so that the taxi time makes sense when I head back.
I'm going to give you my number. I'm not crazy about you, but we do need to work together, and Anatoles did express that. I hope you understand why I'm not a big fan of yours.
Feelings mutual.
But you are one of us now. And we look after each other. Here's my number. If you are in any type of danger, just type 911. And
Of course.
and your location, of course, because I'm not good like Sasha with the technology. I'm okay, I'm pretty decent, but I'm not great.
Yeah, and likewise, here's mine. I don't know how much use I'll be right now, but somewhere along the line, if we find Sabat, I can probably just pretend I ran into them and then call a raid.
Fair enough. And I'll take him back to Fenrir's bar.
Okay. So it takes a little bit to get back across town, but before we go to you dropping him off, Fenrir and Sasha, what's going on in Fenrir's truck as the two of you travel back to the bar?
So as Fenrir is driving, he's going to try to explain to her what each faction is, but better. So he says, "Alright, look, I get it. You don't believe all this stuff. You think it's a cult. I understand. But you need to know the basics. So I serve the Anarchs, and so does Gwen, and the Baron is Anarch. They're the ones that rule the city. The Anarchs sort of resent the privileged status held by the elders within the Camarilla, which is sort of why they revolted. And the elders are real old vampires. Older than me, older than Gwen, older than probably most of the people you met, probably even older than the Baron most of the time. I served a pretty old one. Different kind of group. So I'm Gangrel, which is a sort of vampire. Kindred. The one I served was, well, he was Tremere. Real jerk. Anyway, so the Anarchs are sort of into technology, and they don't really want to, go against it. But the Camarilla, they believe that technology is bad, and that humans are sort of a necessity, that we have to have them around so that we can survive. But they don't think that technology is a good idea because, well, there was a thing called the First Inquisition, and they killed a bunch of vampires, kindred. And now that we're more modern, there's a lot more things that can hurt us. And speaking of hurt us, you remember all that stuff going on back in 2012? All the attacks on London and stuff? And they said it was terrorists?
Yeah, I vaguely remember. There was a lot of terrorist attacks everywhere.
Well, that was actually a group that...
I also heard it was aliens.
Well, that was a group
Illuminati.
that was a group ran by our friend that we just met today, Mick. They're called the Second Inquisition.
Oh, and there was this one theory, it was reptilians.
Well, it wasn't any of that. It was humans, and they were killing kindred. Killing a lot of them, and I helped a lot of our kind escape and get away. That was sort of what I did during that time. So, his group, the Second Inquisition's back now, and that's not good for us, which means we have to be extra careful. You have to be careful about what you say and who you say it to, and you have to be careful what you do. If you don't feed, you're going to lose control. And if you lose control, one of his people's going to find out, and they're going to come and kill you. And I don't want you to die. So I really need you to understand. I know you need time to understand it, but your learning period's a lot slower. You don't have a lot of time, is what I'm saying. Oh, there's another group, the Sabbat. We mentioned them a couple times. I fought them a few times. They're not very good people. The Sabbat want to sort of overthrow humanity, and the Masquerade is what we call it. The Masquerade is what keeps us safe. If humans don't know about us and they think we're just fictional, well then, they don't have as much support to come hunt us and find us. But the Sabbat, they think that the only true way for vampires to rule is openly, by any means necessary. So they're willing to kill hundreds of people and turn them into vampires, kindred. And they don't care what happens. They want power and they want to rule over humans. And they're not very good people. So if we meet any of those people, you run away and you let me deal with them, alright?
Sure. By the way, the second he started talking at the beginning, she would have started recording it all.
Okay.
But he's probably too stupid to understand it's happening.
He just cares that you're listening. He doesn't care what you're doing beyond that.
Yeah, he has no idea what you're doing. He has no idea you're recording what he's saying.
So how does the feeding work? Like, do you need to have 5 balanced meals of blood a day, or like
That's a good question because I don't
protein
know how
fat?
that does work in this terms, DM. So how would that work? Do I have to eat like so many
No.
days?
You generally, the hungrier you get, the closer you get to the beast. So like being at 3 hunger, so to speak, like Sasha didn't just like slurp the bloody Mary, the bloody Tom, whatever it was. Sasha literally inhaled it because Sasha was so hungry. Same thing with Mick. As soon as the first drop touched Mick's taste bud, he threw it back like it was an actual shot of whiskey. So the hungrier you are, the more you want to eat. You don't have to eat night after night. You can go a few days without eating. The problem is when you start using your powers, then you run the risk of getting hungrier and getting closer to the beast. And then when the beast takes over is when most kindred make their mistakes.
So yeah, I'll basically repeat that verbatim to her, saying that, yeah, I mean, you don't have to eat every night, but the more you put it off, the hungrier you'll get. The hungrier you get, the more you'll want to eat, and the more you want to eat, the more dangerous you'll be, and the more risk you are of hurting someone you don't want to hurt.
Are they different flavors? Like, can you make something out of it, like a blood sausage, and just have a blood sausage instead?
No, at least not that I know of.
Because there was this show about zombie, and she cooked her brains, and all the meals looked like nice and different, and she had a lot of different ways to eat it.
You, for
I
a fact,
mean-
know that it does not work that way, Fenrir.
I mean, I've heard of people like making blood shots, but they have like a different kind of way of eating than me. So no, not exactly. And you can't eat real food anymore.
Like, ever? At all?
No, ever at all.
But it's good.
Well, when you start eating, when you start drinking blood, you're gonna realize that's probably better than anything you've ever eaten. You drank that tomato juice earlier.
Yeah, but I like chocolate. I wouldn't want to eat chocolate for every meal for the rest of my life.
Well, now you have to. I'm sorry. I didn't choose this for you, and if I could, I wouldn't have.
Now, can you repeat after me? Say left.
Left.
Say right.
Right.
And she's gonna like repeat to him a bunch of different phrases that could be put into a GPS directions.
What the hell are you doing?
You'll see. I'm gonna make something for you.
Alright. Anyways, like I was saying, the Sabbat are not good people. So, we should probably avoid them. And the Second Inquisition people. So if you see any of those weird vans that you saw, avoid them and leave as quickly as you can.
Well, if there's so mortal enemies of us, Kindred. Why didn't you just kill that Mick guy?
Well, because he's one of us now.
So, why don't you just turn all of them into Kindred?
Storyteller, is there laws about turning people normally in the cities? You got to get permission from like the prince or the duke.
You
or
generally
whoever.
have to. You generally have to get permission. The problem with turning the Second Inquisition of the city is it just means that they're going to send more.
Right.
And then 2012 is going to happen all over again.
Yeah, so if we start taking their kind and turning them into vampires, they're going to start sending more of them. And trust me, they outnumber us in terms of how many people they have.
But they're already after you from what you're saying, so...
Right, and there'll be more of them after us.
But if you turn them, that should change the proportion. I don't see the logic.
If we turn them, we can't control them all. Who knows, maybe they'll go against us still, and then they have vampire powers. I would prefer to fight them if they were just humans than souped up vampire kindred hating kindred.
Would they still hate themselves? And wanna...
Mick hates himself, I'm sure. He'd rather feed on a vampire kindred than a human.
Yeah, but he doesn't seem to be aggressive towards you.
Well, I'm much bigger and stronger than him. And he probably understands that his life is enough risk. They don't really care that he's a vampire, that he used to be on their side. They just care that he's a vampire. They'd rather just kill him. Where one Mick is as a human, 10 more Micks can take his place.
And we're going to pause right there. We're going to go back to Gwen dropping off Mick.
Here we are, Fenrir's bar. I assume you'll be here tomorrow for the show?
Hopefully, I got no idea where they're going to send me. Plus, I'm usually on night watch.
Well, as Fenrir said, don't die. And if you need anything...
Same to you.
Oh, no, I'll be fine. If you need anything, text me.
Of course, of course. And I'm assuming at this point I hop out of the car and call a cab.
Okay. You call a cab and you go back to where you were given your assignment. And as you walk in, this place is hustling and bustling. There are people getting ready to go out on what you assume to be missions. You don't see the two mortals you went out with before you got turned. But you do see the person who sent you out, the human in charge. And he sees you and he motions for you to come to him.
Alright, I make my way over, I guess.
Where the fuck have you been?
I got knocked out in an alleyway. I woke up, my gear was gone. I tracked it down, luckily. Somebody was trying to sell it off. Crackhead. You know this whole story.
Look here, this is a shitstorm. We've got like three dead, several in the hospital. You were missing. IA is all over this shit. You need to go down to waiting room 7C down there and wait for the IA guys to come in and talk to you.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
And look, just be honest with them. Just tell them what happened. Don't give them any bullshit. the more you try to lie to those guys, the guiltier it makes you look. So if you just tell them whatever, not saying that you did anything wrong. I'm not saying that you're guilty of anything. I'm just saying, two of the people you were with are missing. Several others are dead. Just tell them all that you know. I was just being general.
Of course.
Alright, now get the fuck down in that room.
Alright. Good luck out there.
And he turns around. He's like barking orders to other people. So you go down to room 7C. And you're sitting there. And you're waiting. And you're waiting. And you're waiting. And you're waiting. And after about 20 minutes of waiting, two suited individuals come in the door. They look at you. You Mick?
Yep, the one and only.
Good. Took you so long to get here.
Somebody went to check our plates. They were investigating the van. I followed them to see where they were heading, if they were involved with the Kindred at all. And while I was gone, somebody knocked me out. The last thing I remember is a lead pipe over the back of my head. And I woke up and my gear was gone, and I was looking for it. You don't want some crackhead with Second Inquisition gear running around the city with an assault rifle. That's just not a good look for the organization, so I figured I'd tie things up.
Roll me a manipulation plus subterfuge, please.
Alright. That is one success and a possible bestial failure.
Question, storyteller, can he use his willpower? Since we haven't really gotten into that.
Yeah, if you like,
that.
you can reroll up to 3 dice, but you have to take the second result, whatever it is.
All right, that's 2 successes now.
Okay, so the two guys in the suit, they kind of look at each other. Cracked over the back of the head with a pipe by a crackhead, huh? And one of them's gonna kind of walk over behind you and kind of looking at. You can figure he's kind of looking at the back of your head. It's got a funny shaped head. It's kind of hard to tell. And he walks back over. And they both sit down. They look at you. All right, so I need you to go start from the beginning and tell me what happens or what happened. And one of them, there's like this like, it's almost like a manila folder with a bunch of paperwork in it, and they set it on the desk when they come in, and one of them's telling you to go back over the account of what happened when you left Danielson's and Nicholson's in the van to go follow the other two, or the two kindred supposedly. And as you start to do your recount, one of them's kind of like looking through this manila folder. So what do you tell them?
So I'm sitting in the car with the two of them, the van, and somebody comes up, is checking the plates. We go out to see what's going on. She asks questions, and eventually she walks off. I follow behind her, and I ended up losing track of her. And then, because I was following from a distance, she rounded a corner. I go into the alleyway. The last thing I remember is getting knocked on the back of the head. And when I woke up, my gear was gone. I tracked the footprints to a warehouse nearby. There was a girl. It was just a kid scared out of her mind. It definitely wasn't anything suspicious going on. She was just trying to make some money. Like, clearly starving. I completely understand. It wasn't like a criminal thing, in my opinion.
Where's this warehouse at so we can go check it out?
It was a few blocks away. Like, I don't remember the exact location, but I'd like give them the general area.
Okay. Are you trying to specifically not tell them exactly where it's at, or?
Well, my head's kind of foggy after the hit. Like, I don't remember the exact details. I'm kind of scrambled, but I know that it's in like this district.
Roll me another manipulation plus subterfuge.
All right, that is another 2 successes.
Okay. So they're kind of like looking through. Are you paying any attention to what's in the folder that the one guy's flipping through as you're telling your story?
Yeah.
Give me a wits investigation.
Three successes.
As you're kind of like recounting your story, you're not really sure whether they're buying it. But you notice that as you're talking and you're kind of like glancing but not glancing at this folder, you definitely know you saw a picture of Gwen and a picture of Fenrir. You're not 100% sure, but there might have been one of Sasha that had a big red question mark. And some other people that you don't recognize. So you're telling me that you were following two people, you lost them, you turned down an alleyway, got beat up by a crackhead, they stole your gear, then you found your gear, and you let them go.
Well, like I was saying before, it clearly was a different person than the person who attacked me. It was just this little girl, and she was clearly terrified for her life. And I could tell that it was not the same person that beat me up for sure. I'm sure she just found my body and was desperate. She was clearly starving. It seemed unright to just arrest her for that. It was
So
clearly a desperation.
You got knocked out by a crackhead, then you got robbed by a girl. Man, did they just let anybody into the club now?
What was I supposed to do? I was unconscious.
Okay. Well, I think we have all we need for our report. You should probably go see the sergeant and see if he's got anything else for you.
All right. I don't know how well I'll do in my shape currently, but I'll talk.
You're SI, you need to fucking man up. Stop being a pussy.
Right.
Alright, get out of our sight.
I just get up and I make my way over to the sergeant.
You were definitely in there a lot shorter than the rest. So, you got cracked over the head, huh?
Yeah, it was a solid hit.
Why don't you go home and sleep it off? I don't want you going back out hurt. That's the way people get killed. People make mistakes.
I appreciate it.
See you tomorrow night. We'll send you on another one. And get the hell out of here.
See you.
Alright. So now we're going to go back to Sasha and Fenrir.
So Fenrir would ask Sasha, what was the name of her sire again? I keep forgetting.
Chandra.
Can you give me Chandra's number, Sasha?
If I have it, I'm gonna give it to him.
You don't. It always comes up as an unknown number when she calls you.
Oh, okay. Well, I did not. I tried to track it down, but I couldn't.
Is there any way that you can get her to contact me?
Well, she seemed to be interested in keeping in touch, so I can let her know next time. Unless, storyteller, I do have means to contact her if I need to.
You can contact Lyle. Lyle seems to be the best way to like get a message to her.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I can try to get to her through a friend. let me do it now, and she'll send him a text message.
And then I'll tell her to give him to give her Tommy's number.
Lyle messaged you back. He's like, "Oh God, I heard what happened. Are you okay?"
What did you hear?
You know that you kind of had an accident, and now you're part of Chandra's band.
So you know everything about it?
I'm the one who told her you would make a great drummer.
If I understand you correctly, go fuck yourself.
Fair enough.
And kinda to get her mind off the craziness, because she really doesn't want to think about it, and denial is great for her. She's gonna pull out her laptop, upload the recording, and start messing with a program to start making the GPS.
Roll me an intelligence plus computers, please. And while you're doing that, we're gonna. Did you roll really high?
9 successes, critical win if success.
Okay. So you have successfully made him a GPS voice, but you have to have something to upload it into now.
Yeah, I know that, and I'm gonna record phrases on it, not record, but with the samples he made, I'm gonna make the program say things like "handsome, keep going till I tell you otherwise," or alright, turn right now.
Okay.
While Sasha's doing that, I'm gonna ask, you want to listen to some music while you're playing on your computer thing?
Sure, but I'm gonna choose it.
Well, we have only 2 choices in this car, and he and he holds up 2 CDs. They're both hardcore heavy metal Norse music, like like super hardcore death metal.
I'm pretty sure that Sasha probably has Spotify on her laptop. Or LimeWire or something like that.
Yeah. Also, this track was pretty old, right? So it's not gonna have a Bluetooth connection.
Nope.
No. I mean, I kept telling Garrett that I should upgrade the cool stereo and stuff, but all I got is that the little recording thing, the little these little tapes.
Okay, I guess.
I hear they got them on CDs now or something. Those little round things that you put into the DVD player.
Yeah, they also do it magically through the air now.
Oh, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Prove it.
And she's gonna connect her phone to her laptop and make her laptop play, but through her phone, to show that there's no CD. Just makes one device makes the other play.
And you have no idea what the fuck is going on, Fenrir, so you just believe what she just told you because technology is a fucking bane to your existence.
Cyril, Mick, what the fuck is that?
And she's gonna play some Russian electro music.
So Russian electro music begins to play as you guys get closer to where the race is. So we're going to go back to Gwen now. You've dropped off Mick. He's gotten in a cab. You've given him contact information. You head over. You head over across to the other side of London, a little bit seedier, where odd races tend to happen on random nights of the week, and you pull into where everybody's meeting up, and it is jumping. I mean, the car babes are there. There's actually some really nice looking car dudes. There's definitely some really nice looking non-binary people that are like standing next to cars that look really nice. And you're kind of in your place. If you weren't in your office making designer clothes or sketching up designer clothes, this is where you want to be most of the time. The music is jumping.
I will jump out the car real quick, go into the trunk, and get my my leather jacket that I wear for just races.
Okay. So what does this leather jacket look like?
It has all kinds of. It's very un-Toreador like, but my sire gave it to me years ago, and it's kind of torn up, and it has a bunch of patches from different places of the world. Like it'll say Switzerland, and it'll say USA, and just has a bunch of different patches. It's very un-Toreador like, but she wears it for good luck.
So as you're doing that, you hear a familiar voice. Jesus H. Christ, Gwen. That shit's older than I am.
I know, but I love it, and I refuse to get rid of it.
This is Arnie. He's the guy that takes the money or takes the pink slips, and holds him for the races. And if you're in good with him, you generally give him a cut. People that aren't in good with him, that kind of like shaft him or shit on him, they don't get to race that often. But you've been pretty good to him. So Arnie's got a soft spot. He's kind of an older man. He's an American man. He's probably in his late 70s, which is odd for this crowd, but if you had your suspicions, he's here for the car babes, because he's an old lonely man that lives by himself. And the car babes, the car non-binary people, and the car dudes look really, they're like, on a scale of 1 to 10, they're probably an 11 or 12. They're definitely, you've probably taken a car person home with you a time or two for a snack. He's like, the Spaniard's here again. I don't know if he wanted to race tonight. And you remember the last time the Spaniard was here? It's another kindred. And he's not the nicest person in the world. He beat you last time, and he almost put you into a wall, which is part of the reason that he beat you, because he was playing dirty. I mean, if anything ever happened to you, kid, I'd feel guilty. I don't think you should race tonight.
I'll be fine, Martin.
And it's about this time that you see a familiar blue truck pull up. Sasha and Finn, you see a lot of cars in this compact area that's like kind of off the beaten path. And same description, there are cars with really nice systems with non-binary people and guys and gals. But you see Sasha talking to like an older man, kind of balding, probably about, He's actually almost as tall as Fenrir, which is odd because there are very few people that are that tall. But as far as the build, they're two completely different builds. He's tall and lanky, whereas Fenrir is tall and built.
Don't worry, Arnie. I'll be fine.
You sure? I mean,
No.
he's racing for pinks. I don't want you to lose this fast ride. I mean, I know you got enough money you could buy a new one, but
Nah, Susan won't let me down. I was in the vet last time. It was no good. I junked it. I should have taken Susan the whole time.
do you mean junked it in as you crashed into the wall? Well, you hit the wall because the Spaniard kind of...
Yes. We don't need a recap of it, Arnie. I understand. I fucked up.
Okay.
And I hit him on the shoulder. I'll be fine. Susan will take care of me.
Alright, just be careful.
I will.
So what do Fenrir and Sasha do?
Yeah, I tell Sasha that if she tells Sandra that if she contacts me, I can promise that I will not be harsh to her. I just want to talk. And then I give my word that I will be respectful, and that's all. I just want to talk.
Okay. Sasha, what do you do? Because you've told the person who generally gets you in touch with Chandra to go fuck themselves.
I already asked him beforehand, so I believe he's gonna go through it anyways. So I'm just gonna wait.
Okay. Okay, so you get nothing back from Chandra yet. But
Okay.
It's not unheard of for Kendra to take a few days to get back to you. Sasha, are you going to go get in the car with Gwen? You both notice that she is wearing a very old, very uncharacteristic Letterman jacket.
And you said my fashion sense was bad.
I was actually about to say for once she's wearing something that doesn't look weird.
Is item that's I've had for a long time. I refuse to get rid of it. It's my lucky jacket.
Well, you're gonna need it. I seen how you drive.
Oh, it was great, Fenrir. You missed it. Right as he was getting, and I'm talking about Mick, right as he was getting in the car and putting his shit away, I stepped on the gear and he hit his face. It was hilarious. He thought I did it accidentally, but I did it on purpose. I'm so mean, but I love it.
You know what, Fenrir? If you're gonna talk shit to her, maybe you should raise her and prove her that you're better.
I don't know how to drive these fancy cars. Maybe if she souped up my truck, then I might try.
I know a guy. I'd look at his truck. It'll need a lot of souping up, but we can do something.
I wanted to add a couple things. Can your guy put those fancy, what were they called, Sasha? The wireless, no disc,
Bluetooth.
tongue?
Bluetooth. Yes.
Yeah, that's it, Bluetooth. I know a guy named Bluetooth. You could call him that because his tooth was all rotten and you could see it was blue. It was nasty. His breath smelled real bad.
Oh, God.
One time when he got into a fight, he got hit and his tooth came out. We started calling him Missing Tooth then.
I could have lived the rest of my unlife without knowing that story, but thank you for sharing it.
Oh, you're welcome. I figured someone should know the story of old Missing Tooth.
Alright, kid, you gotta take your pink slip just in case.
What's a pink slip? Is that what they call it nowadays? Back in the day, we just called it fucking.
Who the hell is this guy, Gwen?
This is a friend of mine. This is Fenrir. And this is Sasha.
It's nice to make both of your acquaintances, Fenrir and Sasha.
What's a pink slip?
Hey.
It's what you got a pink slip for your car. It's
Oh, I didn't pay for my car.
Don't even worry about it. Just does one of you want to get in the car?
Yeah, Sasha did. She wanted to ride with you for some reason.
Gwen, are you sure about that?
I'm gonna look at Sasha. I'd love for you to join, but I think it's best if you sit this one out. I should have another one maybe in a couple of days, but I think you should
That's
sit.
the only reason I came here. Because you told me.
She was looking forward to it. What do you mean she
You
can't go?
proposed it yourself. That's kind of fucking rude.
You know what? You'll be fine. We'll win. You'll be okay.
Why? What are you scared of?
Last time I crashed the car, but it wasn't my fault. It was someone playing very dirty, but I've learned how to play dirty as well.
You can do what the cops do on TV. I always watch them when I watch the rerun of that one TV show. What's it called? Cops? They like hit them in the back and then they go like that.
Maybe.
If he gets ahead of you, just like hit him in the back.
That's a plan. Sure, Sasha, if you want, come on. We'll be fine.
What's the route? Are we gonna be driving straight or are we gonna be turning a lot?
Storyteller?
It really depends. Sometimes it's a straight route. Sometimes it's like an obstacle course.
Oh, hey Gwen, can you give me some money? I want to bet on you.
Sure. And I'll give him like whatever's in my purse, probably like maybe a couple of grand.
Okay, so Sasha gets in Susan with Gwen.
So who's
And you guys
Oh, sorry.
pull up to the line and you see a very familiar fancy Italian sports car. It belongs to the Spaniard. And he sees you and he kind of smiles and he looks over and he sees Sasha and in the passenger seat and he just kind of shakes his head, goes back to looking forward and starts revving his engine. You recognize there is a kid from the UK. They call him Little Tommy. He's all right. He's never won a race. But he's decent. So it's just the three of you.
Okay.
And Arnie comes up to the side and he's like, alright, place your bets before we close all the bets.
I'm gonna put all this on Gwen.
Alright. A lot of money on Miss Gwen. He kind of looks and nods. Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All bets are off. All bets are in. A really kind of attractive Korean guy comes out, and he's got like a scarf, and he waves it around, and you know that when he drops the scarf is the signal for you all to start. So he waves it around a few times. He counts to 3 in Korean, and drops the scarf. I need you to make a Dex plus Drive for me, please.
Okay. Can I activate my celerity, which is going to be Cat's Grace?
Yep.
And I have a question about the cars that are taking part in the race. Are they all like newer models that have lots of electronics in them?
Oh, hacker
The-
bad.
The Italian car, no. Tommy's car, yes. And definitely Gwen's car.
I'm going to. So that means I'm going to add the 2 dice from my disciplines, correct?
Yep.
And I have specialty in drive, so I add an extra dice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And if you want, you can still use your willpower.
So 2 10s means what?
Double crits.
Okay. So that's 2.
So that's it's just 2 successes. So that would be 4 successes per 10.
So far.
6, 7, 8 successes.
All right. So you jump out to what you think is a pretty good lead, and then this Italian car comes flying past you. Tommy, not so much. Tommy's a good ways back behind you. So, I mean, you're not far behind him. You're kind of like just at his back bumper. So that's the first leg. Do you want to try anything before the next leg of the race, like nudge to the back of his car?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm doing what he did. I'm playing dirty.
Okay. So roll me another Dex plus Drive.
Okay. So what celerity, correct?
With
Yep.
all them bonuses.
Okay. As we're done, I'm gonna say, hold on, Sasha.
Look at all them dice.
Success. 2, 3, 4 successes.
Okay. So as you move in to try to kind of clip the back of him and send him into the wall like he did you,
Mhm.
He sees you inching up, and he kind of steps on the gas a little bit more, and Susan scrapes the back of his bumper, and it makes him fishtail for a second, but he gets it back into control. So you guys are kind of neck and neck. I need to roll for a little Tommy. He does not catch up to you. All right, so next leg of the race, you kind of, as you're going, they've set up cones to kind of keep traffic from coming across as you guys are going.
Mhm.
And you kind of come to this steep curve. So I need another Dex plus Drive.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All right, he only got 1 success. So you kind of, after jockeying for position, you kind of shoot ahead of him a little bit.
Mhm.
He is now going to attempt to.
Poor Tommy's just like way back there.
Yeah, I rolled no successes for him. He is like so far back there, it's not even funny.
His car stalls or something.
He like hit a piece of trash and the car flipped and he's like over on the top. Alright, so he's attempting to clip the back of your car, so I need you to make a Dex plus Drive, please.
Okay. 1,
No, I'm unmuted.
2, 3, 4,
I'm wondering if
6.
I could
Another
try
7.
to put the laptop on my knees after I fasten my seatbelts and try to basically kind of hack into both cars that I can because they have electronics, just in case. Like, I don't really want to do anything. I just want to. I don't fully trust Gwen, so in case like she's about to kill us, I want to be able to kill the engine.
Okay, so little Tommy, you don't have to worry about. He was the other car. He literally flipped his car. So you can roll to hack into Gwen's car to kill the engine if you need to.
That's 6 successes.
All right, so you are hacked into her computer system. So if you need to kill the car, you can kill the car.
Did you hear my my dice pool or no?
I did not. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.
All right, so he only got 5. So you pull a little bit further. Oh, actually, he doesn't clip you. You kind of you see him and you remember from last time how he kind of got up on the side of you and just kind of he doesn't. His car's nice, but he's got the money that he can basically just buy a new one if he wants, or replace whatever gets messed up. But he misses you. All right, so the third leg, you're going to come around that corner, and you're going to go up onto a bridge. And as you do, as you come down from the bridge, there's immediate hard right. I need another Dex plus drive.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right. All right, you guys are neck and neck again. He steps on the gas, and as you go around the corner, he is like right there with you. So we're going into the final leg of the race. Do you want to try anything, or do you just want to flat out try to race him to the finish?
I'm gonna race him to the finish.
All right. So last leg.
Okay. That is 2 10s. So that would make it 4, correct?
Yep.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 successes.
All right. So he got 6 successes with a bestial failure. So, as you both come around that hard right and you go into the final stretch, he's trying to get up alongside you so that he can get alongside you on the side that Sasha's on and drive you into the wall.
Mm-hmm.
But he kind of overcorrects and he spins out just before the finish line, and you cross the finish line and are victorious. Everybody is cheering as you cross the finish line.
Wow, I just made a lot of money.
Oh, you can actually drive. I thought you were just a poser. Nice.
I tried to tell you.
Well,
This was
believe
so
what I
exciting.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Let's go rub it in the Spaniard's face. Because last time he cheated, he was a dirty cheater.
Fenrir, make me a wits awareness roll, please.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, everybody that's there can make a wits awareness roll for me. That includes Gwen and Sasha.
That's 3 successes.
Okay.
That is 4 successes.
2 successes.
You only needed 2 successes. That was the difficulty. So Arnie comes running over to your car.
Mm.
Hey, look here. No time to celebrate, kid. Here's your winnings. Get the hell out of here. Here comes the cops. As you guys hear sirens head in your direction.
I will yell out, let's move.
And we're going to pause right there. And we're going to go to Mick. So Mick, what do you do after you get dismissed by the desk sergeant?
After I get dismissed, I assume that I head home.
Okay, so you're going to go to your house?
Yeah, like it's been a long day, and what time is it now?
It's starting to get late in the morning. It's probably about 3 or 4ish. You guys have kind of been at it. It took you and Fenrir a while to find your gear, just from doing the stuff. Then the stuff at the Red Lamb Inn took a while. It of course took Gwen a while to get you over to where you could call a cab. You were in even though the sergeant said it didn't take as long as nearly the others, you were for several hours. I just didn't want to drag that scene out where you were being interrogated by internal affairs. So it's starting to get to the point where the sun's probably getting ready. You can feel the pull of the sun. You're starting to get tired.
Right. So yeah, I assume at this point I head home then.
Okay. Do you do anything specific?
I do have a library because I do have like a bookshelf or two full of like information that I've gathered during the Inquisition, just like textbooks about vampires or well, kindred. And so I'm assuming I page through there to see if there's any information about what I can do and like what I should try and take care of.
They don't really get specific on clans because they don't see the SI doesn't see it that way. They just see them as vampires, and it specifies that different ones can do different things. So you would just have to try to do some guessing.
Is there anything about a cure that we found at all?
The only cure that you guys have is to kill them all.
I assume at this point I go to bed because I don't see anything else that Mick would really want to do.
Okay. So you go to sleep. And we'll come back to you because we're going to do a little bit more. Alright. So you all book it out of there. I assume you go back to Fenrir's, drop off Sasha.
Yeah, I'll tell Sasha that she's gonna does she need to stay someplace in particular because of, the sun?
Yeah, I mean, because her apartment was pretty much, or her living situation was, she pretty much had the place set up so that sunlight didn't come in already. Okay. So she's pretty safe in that aspect.
Okay, well then I'll just tell her that please be very careful. Stay away from the daytime. Sleep someplace that's dark. And you'll be fine.
Okay. Sure.
If you need anything, call me.
You mean Tommy?
I'll send some... Yes, call Tommy's number.
Or,
and I'll come. Or I'll send someone.
It's not far away.
Not in the day, you can't.
Alright. Sure, I can't go during the day.
Question, DM. How bad would it hurt me to take a shotgun blast to the chest?
What the fuck?
Pretty bad.
Like, bad enough that I couldn't recover from it quickly?
Yes.
Okay. Then never mind.
How much money did I get?
You mean, did I get? You gave it to me, it was a gift.
No, it was not the gift. Hold on.
So you got enough. I mean, it's not going to affect your resources.
No, nothing like that.
But you got several thousand British pounds.
Okay, I'm gonna take.
How much did I get?
I take my two.
Okay.
Oh well, I was going to say if he. I see what you're saying. Okay, never mind. Because I was going to say, I was going to take my 2 back, and I was going to give him the rest, and say, now I'm paid up.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So
But
we're
did you
good.
pay that guy that I told you about?
Artie always takes the money out before he gives it to me.
Oh, right. That's right. I have to send it now that I'm back home.
Oh, you're talking about the one that... Yeah, I already wired that to you, like, way earlier today.
Right. I'm gonna do that now.
Don't you mean Sasha's going to do that?
Yes, that's what I meant. Sasha, can you wire this money?
Sure.
Now, excuse me. I am going to first head to a friend of mine before I head to bed. Fenrir, I will see you tomorrow for the show.
Mm-hmm.
And Storyteller, I'm going to leave Fenrir's bar, get back into my car, and I would like to go visit a friend of mine named Jackson.
All right, so you pull up to the usual spot. You get out your car and you walk through the doors. And generally, no one would be permitted at this time of night. But because it's you and because it's a special situation, they tend to let you in. And oddly enough, Jackson is, while he's in bed, he's not sleeping. He's kind of wide awake, like he's had too much sugar or something like that.
I walk in. Hey there, little guy. I guess you have been taking on the bag of treats I gave you last time.
Yeah, Mom said that I should cut back on it, but when nobody's around, I sneak like 3 or 4 pieces of candy. So don't tell anyone, all right?
I promise. Your secret is my secret.
Oh man, I was like sitting here and watching, and there was like these cars going really fast, and then like a few minutes later, there was a whole bunch of cop cars that come. I don't know if it's like bank robbers or something like that, but it was like totally cool.
I'll let you in on a little secret. That was me.
You were in the cop cars?
I wasn't in the cop cars, but I was in the other cars.
You were in the cars going really fast?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like awesome.
And I'm gonna go into my purse, and I'm going to into my like large overstuffed like size purse, and I'm going to pull out like a little toy car that kind of looks like mine. I'm gonna give him that.
Oh, thank you. Mom just went to like get some hot cocoa because I like told her I wanted some hot cocoa. And Dad, he went home because he's got to like be up for like PT early in the morning. But like, it's like that's like totally cool that like you were in those cars going like really fast, like zoom and zoom, and then like the cop cars were like ree 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 ree. But yeah, so like Mom should be back in like a few minutes if you like want to talk to her, because I know you like usually talk to her before you like leave. But like so anything else cool like happen?
A friend, and I tell him about vampires and stuff like that because he thinks it's funny.
Vampires aren't real. You're so silly.
I know, but a friend of mine got turned into one.
Yeah, I bet. Is it like that Dungeons and Dragons game?
Just like Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe next time we can play.
Maybe, but like they don't know when I'm gonna be able to go home.
Well, I will come as much as I can to check on you, and we'll play some games, and I'll bring some friends over, and I'm not going to be the dungeon master, okay?
Okay. What's a dungeon master?
We'll go through that.
I'm just kidding. I know. I'm just funning you. And it's about that time that his mother comes through the door and she sees you and she greets you with a warm smile. She's like, "Oh, Gwen, I didn't realize we were going to be seeing you tonight."
I just wanted to come in. I had a gift for Jackson over here, and I just wanted to stop in and give it to him. It might be a little bit before I can come back. I'm going to be quite busy.
She got me a car room, and he's like making car noises with it, and his mom looks at him and smiles, and she's like, "That's really sweet of you." It's like, can we go outside?
Of course. All right, there, little guy. Well, I will see you soon, and I'll kiss him on the head.
All right, bye, Gwen. Zoom! Don't drive too fast. The cops will come after you.
They're always after me. It's fine.
Can't wait to play Dungeons and Dragons.
You're the dungeon master.
Okay. And his mom sets the hot chocolate. She follows you out. She's like, "I really appreciate you coming and checking on him. It really makes his nights. He's been very restless lately. He's been talking about having nightmares about the boogeyman."
Boogeyman.
He says it's this really ugly, scary man with pointed teeth, and he's got these really long pointed ears, and he's very descriptive. He's got such an amazing imagination, but if I didn't know any better, if I didn't know it wasn't just, like when I was a kid, I had the boogeyman that I was scared of, but he's just been the nurses come in at, just before sunrise, and he's screaming about the boogeyman being in his room trying to eat him. And he's not getting better. He was getting better, and now he seems to be as if he's not healing the way he was before.
When did this start happening, darling?
He was fine last month. He was healing really well. And then just all of a sudden he started having nightmares about the boogeyman, and he was getting more sick.
I see. Well, the boogeyman is not real. I'll try to get in touch with maybe some doctors and in a different maybe area. Are you opposed to leaving this hospital and maybe going to another?
Well, it really depends on where it is. His father, he's stationed here, and we chose the public because just the military doctors, unfortunately, just weren't doing anything for him.
Let me see what I can do. If you can just do me a favor, and do I know what would I know to keep away certain vampires? Do I know anything, or Kendra? I'm sorry.
There are some that are rumored to have the mythic folklore banes and stuff like that, but it's just like you have where anytime anybody spills beans, you have to stop and count them, stuff like that. But not all vampires are affected that way. So, it sounds like a vampire to you, but you know that there are other things out there that are supernatural that could fall. A kid's imagination is beyond belief, and just because that's what he thought he saw may not be what he actually saw.
Crosses. Let me see what I can do. I would prefer to get you to some better doctors, maybe a different hospital.
That would be great. I'll talk to his father when I go home.
And I'll take care of it if it's something where he has to be out of work or you or whatever the circumstances may be.
You don't have to do that. I appreciate it.
No. Don't argue with me. Let me see what I can take care of. And I'm gonna go into my purse, and the winnings that I won, I'm going to hand it over to her.
Gwen, you're too kind. I can't take this. I mean,
Of course you can. It's a gift. Take it. Do what you must. Keep an eye on him. It's kid's imagination is active, but I'm concerned that he's not getting well, and I don't want that to happen. So please, take this. Do what you need to. I know it's been hard here recently. It's okay.
thank you. And she hugs you, full on, embraces you like your family, and is just squeezing you so tight.
I'll hug her back. All right, I must get going, but keep an eye out, of course, and let me know. You have my number.
I do. Thank you so much for everything that you do.
Of course, my darling. And I'll do air kiss, and I will. I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
I'm going to contact. Who would I know to contact about a possible maybe Nosferatu or another creature that she described?
You would most likely contact the Baron.
Okay, so I'm gonna call him real quick and see if he'll answer. Because I'm in a panic right now. I don't want him getting hurt by something.
So the phone rings, and you hear a familiar voice on the other end. It's not Baron Cross. It is one of his men.
I need to speak to the Baron, please.
He has gone to bed for the evening.
Can you tell him to call me first thing tomorrow? Or tell him, please, if he would come to the show.
I do believe he had plans on coming to the show, but I will pass on. This is Miss Gwendolyn, right?
Yes.
Very well.
And I'll go back home in the better half of just trying to look for doctors or anything to get him out of that hospital. And also, I will be getting my old iPhone XR and programming it so that way I can give Fenrir a present.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing for.
So you do that, and eventually you turn into a corpse laying at a desk working on technology. Fenrir, is there anything you would do before you fell asleep for the evening?
So yeah, I basically, is Garrett still awake or up or around?
Yeah, Garrett's still there. A couple of the guys are still there.
Okay, so I would ask him, hey, while I was away dealing with all that other stuff, anything happen?
Yeah, some kid come in here and asked if I had any jobs for her to do. Said that you sent her.
Yeah, redhead?
Yeah.
Did you give her one?
No, I'm not sending a kid on any of the jobs that I have. She'll get killed.
I said give her some job. I don't know, she could be a waitress here. Where did you send her? What'd you do with her?
I can't make her a waitress at your fucking bar. This is your bar, not mine.
Well, that's why I sent her here.
No, she cleaned up and she went to see Aunt Maybelline or whatever that lady's name is that you're so soft on.
Alright. I'll call her then.
Okay.
But nothing else?
Nope, nothing.
I take out the money that I won and I hand it to him and I go, this is for you and the boys and repairing this place a little bit.
What's wrong with this place? I think it's got like real fucking class, dude.
Well, sure, but there's like roofs leaking and fucking creaky floors and I mean just that stuff. It doesn't have to be fixed up beyond that.
It's like homely like that, dude. Though he does have one of the guys like he does have a point, boss. I mean, when it fucking monsoons here, we literally have buckets all over the place.
It rains every fucking day.
Yeah, all right. I'll call somebody tomorrow. Me and the boys are gonna get out of here. Do you need anybody to stick around, or are you good?
You guys can go. I should be fine. I'm gonna go check on the girl real quick. I'm gonna go see Auntie and see if what happened.
So the girl is asleep. Mabel had a place for her to stay. One of the rooms in the flat that she owns, or one of the apartments in the flat that she owns. My Thomas, he wouldn't just not forgive me if I didn't take in a child like that who just has no place. And
Well, I make sure that she gets a good job and she can pay for rent for you and stuff.
now you're not gonna have her working at that bar of yours, because that's not a good place for a pretty girl like that. A lot of ruffians come in there, and I just don't want anything bad happening to her. She's a sweet girl. She lost her parents.
In a non-weird way, how attractive is she?
She's for a young girl, she's attractive.
Okay.
She is definitely underage to be working there. She's probably only like 16, even though the drinking age is 18.
I was thinking more like having her work for Gwen as like a model instead.
Yeah, I mean she's gonna have to clean up, but she could definitely model tomorrow as kind of a trial thing.
So then, yeah, I'll give the old woman a couple hundred, and I'll say that'll be for her stay here for now. I'll call Gwen and see if I can get her a job there, so she's not working at my bar.
Okay.
And then I'll call Gwen.
Gwen, your phone rings.
I was just about to go to bed. What do you want?
Sorry to bother you. Look, when me and Mick were looking for his stuff, we found this girl, and I gave her a place to stay, but maybe you could give her a job.
Will she be there tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. I might need you as well.
What's wrong?
One of my touchstones, a little boy that I'm very fond of, he's sick. He's getting better. But I visit him today and he's not doing so well. His mother talked to me. And if it wasn't supernatural, I wouldn't be talking to you about this. But he basically described to his mother, and she described to me, a Nosferatu, or maybe some sort of other supernatural being. For fuck's sake. But he's not getting better, and his health is decreasing for the past month.
You probably would hear like a growl come over the phone, because that's sort of like one of his most hated things is when vampires feed on kids. And he would say, "You have me, and you have everything that I have. I can try to come and see if I can track whatever's coming into his room. Wolf's real good with scent. Maybe he'll catch a scent and we can follow it. Those suckers smell like the sewer, if it isn't Nosferatu."
Yes, that will be most greatly appreciated, and I'll pay you if need be. But
I'll do it for free. Just make sure my boys are paid and I'll be happy.
consider them taken care of. Maybe after the show tomorrow. It gives me some time to try to get him to a different hospital.
Okay. I can send a couple of my boys to his room if you feel that it's needed.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll send you his address, and I'll tell his mother that I'm sending some backup, just on the safe side.
Can you pay for them to look a little bit nicer than their normal look? I'm sure biker boys won't look too good sitting in a boy's room.
I will. I'll make them look like CIA agents.
All right. And then I will. I'll tell you good night. Good night. And then I'm gonna call Garrett immediately.
Jesus Christ, I just left. What?
Hey Garrett, you know how I have a problem with people hurting little kids?
Yeah, I think we all fucking do.
Well, I think there's some asshole hurting a little kid. I need you to send a couple boys over to this kid's room and make sure that they watch him. I think he may have some sort of molester visiting him at night.
All right, we'll take care of it. Don't know if they're gonna let us in, but
Go over to send him over to Gwen's shop first, and she'll take care of him, make him look like they belong there.
all right.
And then I'll go back and go to sleep.
Gwen, as you hang up the phone and you set it down and you finish up your tasks, you go to a lifeless husk. Fenrir, the same thing for you. Sasha, is there anything you want to do before you fall asleep for the night?
Yeah, she would send the transfer that Fenrir asked her to, and she would also order a GPS for his track, but she would pay with his money, the club's money, because she has access to it.
Right. You're not going to use your own.
No.
All right. So you do all that. Anything else?
Depends how much time do I have till I'm gonna feel super sleepy.
You are starting to feel super sleepy right now.
Then I'm just gonna probably go to sleep. And
Okay.
whatever else I wanna do, I'm gonna do in the morning or when I get up.
All right. So, as if the weight of the world and the rising of the sun is just too much, or maybe you've just been up for so long and so much has happened, you fall asleep. And during the day, things go about the normal routine. I assume that before you fall asleep, Gwen, you would have sent word to your
Absolutely.
assistant that there would be some gentlemen coming in that needed to be fitted to look like the CIA to get that out of the way. That was taken care of. So everyone slumbers, and the mortal world goes about their daily life. Mick, you wake up in your apartment because you would be the first to rise. What do? You do know that there's some big fancy shindig over at Fenrir's bar tonight.
Do I have to go on patrol at all? Like, what time do I need to report in?
You generally start going out on missions later in the evening. But the desk sergeant has sent you a message that IA said that you should have a few days off. So you're not needed to report for a couple of days.
Right. I'm assuming at this point I get up, I try and make, I guess, would it be breakfast or dinner like normal? and
I mean,
just sort of like get ready to go out.
It's breakfast for you. So are you making normal food, or are you going to try to find...
Probably normal food, just out of like habit.
Okay, do you have eat food, or do you have Blush of Life?
I don't think I need to use it with the perks I took for my character. I have, like, I'm pretty sure I took Lifelike as a trait, which is one of the ones for my character.
So you'll eat this food, but later on in the evening, as time goes on, you throw it back up. It does not sate your hunger. Matter of fact, I need you to make it... Everyone can go ahead and make a rouse check, because you're all going to wake up and have to make a rouse check. So roll one of your dice, non-hunger, and if you get a 6 or higher, you succeed.
Woo woo! I got a 10.
I succeeded as well. The 2 stars mean a 10, right?
Yep. Who failed?
All right.
I failed.
So Gwen gets hungrier. It must be the nervousness about the night. So all of you wake, you go about your normal routines. You all know that there is a big shindig at Fenrir's. So Mick, I assume you eventually do show up?
Yeah.
Okay. You see Fenrir there. Mary, I assume you go as soon as you wake up?
That depends. When...
Or Sasha, I'm sorry, not Mary.
Yeah, that's fine. I still know it's me. That depends. When do I exactly get up and how far away from the show it is?
Well, you live just down the road from Fenrir's bar.
I mean, like, how far away in time?
It's probably like a 10-15 minute walk for you. And you wake up generally as soon as the sun goes down.
Okay, rephrase the question. How much time from when I wake up till when the show starts? That's what I mean.
The show was supposed to start at 8 o'clock, so you have about an hour and a half.
Okay. Yeah, I'm supposed to be kind of responsible for it, so I'm gonna have to stray away.
Okay, so you get there, Mick and Fenrir are there. Gwen, I assume you take care of all the necessary requirements, get everybody there. You meet Anna, who is the young lady that Fenrir sent over that they found. She is strikingly... For a young girl, she is attractive. She is tall, she has the model build. So she will definitely work for your show. She just needs a little bit of guidance.
Fenrir is not a very bad pick, I say as I'm walking around her, measuring tape, measuring her shoulders, her around her waist. They're a little messy, girl, but it's not that big of a deal. Nothing that can't be fixed with some hairspray, a bar of soap.
The whole time you're talking to her, she's like, and like you're measuring her, she's like not even looking at you. It's like she's embarrassed to look at you.
No, don't be embarrassed. And I pick her face up. Look, head straight, eye contact, confidence. You can look like this, but your confidence is what matters. You could pull this look off if this is the look that you want, but it doesn't matter.
Yes, ma'am.
Look straight. Now, I need you to walk for me.
And she walks.
Shoulders up. Straight.
And she does the best she can. She'll work it. She's going to need more training, but she'll work for tonight.
Possible job with me. Okay. You're hired.
Oh, thank you. And so you head over and you get everything. So you were all there.
Thank you, Fenrir, by the way, for sending your friends over. I appreciate
Oh, you're
that.
welcome.
Maybe you'll meet him soon. He's the sweetest kid.
As soon as we're done here, I'll go over and see what I can find.
Thank you. Okay, places, everyone. Places. Fenrir, since this is your bar, and you are you will be the guest of honor for doing this favor for me. Even though I'm paying. I have an outfit. I have two things for you: an outfit, and I hand him over an iPhone XR.
What's this? Is this gonna break?
Gentle. I've put it inside an outer box. You have a glass screen on it. If this does not work, I'm giving you a Nokia.
Is that a car?
It's another cell phone. It's like a brick. You cannot kill it. But I'm giving you a chance. Here you go. Here's your new phone.
Oh, you're...
Yeah. Hand it to me. I'm gonna make sure it's secure.
Here you go, Sasha. I've put all of our numbers in. I put the Barons. I put myself, Sasha's. You can give Tommy his phone back.
Hey, Tommy! And I... Boom! Toss him the phone.
Tommy is not there. Tommy is one of the ones that went
Oh.
to watch over.
Well, in that case, then I'll give the phone to Garrett then.
And the second thing here is this, and I present him with a leather jacket, jeans, a black T-shirt. Everything fit exactly to his body type.
I look like that movie, but like instead of like Grease, I look like Grease now.
Sure, I mean it's not a black.
Except for he had a leather jacket. Yeah.
That was a black leather jacket. This is a brown. But that's all good. And new boots, because your poor boots look like they've about had it.
What's wrong with my boots? They fit comfortably.
There looks like there's a hole in them.
I mean, there might be.
Here, take them. Enjoy. I'm going to get everything set up. Hey, you over there, please. Take that off the wall. That is hideous. No offense. And I'm going to rush over and take something off the wall that doesn't fit.
Hey, before you run off, while we're at it, just give me your phone too. I'm gonna make sure it's secure too.
Okay, here you go. And I toss it over to you.
While all this is going on, guests are starting to file in. They're being shown upstairs. There are several kindred. There are several non-kindred. It's a rather good turnout. Gwen's assistant leads Sasha, Fenrir, and Mick to their respective seats near the runway.
Yeah, I'll put on all the clothes except for the jacket. I'll like hang it up in my room in case something happens, but I gotta wear my jacket all the time. So I'll wear all the other stuff except for the jacket. And I'll say, it didn't fit, sorry.
I assume I just like make my way to my seat and wait for Fenrir.
Okay. So everyone gets to their seats of honor for this show. And it begins. You see several familiar faces. You see Baron Cross. You see the Seneschal. You see Rebecca. You see Anatoles. And the show goes well. And Fenrir, you feel a sense of pride as Anna comes out onto the runway. You made the right call. You sent Gwen model material without even knowing it. It's almost like if you were a father. you imagine this is what your father felt like when he gave birth to you. The show goes on. Rave reviews. There are people taking massive amounts of photos, and the three of you, Mick, Fenrir, and Sasha, you hear the chatter about of, oh, this is almost, this could rival Nelly G. This could be where the next fashion aficionado is going to be. If not rival Nelly G, it's right there with it. And the show goes on. People take pictures. There's catering both from the normal restaurant of the Red Lamb Inn and the special needs are met of the not so mortal clientele. And eventually the four of you get back together and are standing in a clump kind of talking with one another. Gwen, I need you to make a wits awareness roll for me.
Yes, sir. Okay. 3 successes.
As you're standing there and you're talking with Sasha and Fenrir and Mick, and you're all just kind of talking about how the show went, a very familiar feeling sweeps over you as you turn around and you see someone you haven't seen in quite a while. Your sire, Vlad. And I'm very proud of you. That was an amazing show. Your product. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too, my love.
And he will kiss you on the cheek on both sides, European style.
How's
And-
you been?
Oh, I am well. How have you been? And who are your friends? I think you have new friends since the last time I've seen you.
Ah, yes. This is Fenrir, and over here we have Mick, and this beautiful young woman is Sasha. Gangrel Tremere, and we're not sure what he is just yet. Everyone, this is my sire, Vlad von der Hilt.
It is a pleasure to meet you all. And he reaches his hand out to shake all of your hands. Those of you that take his hand and shake it, he has a very firm handshake.
It's nice to meet you. She talks about you all the time.
Don't even play coy with me. She very rarely speaks of me. She's got all those boy toys and everything. You know,
She may have all those boy toys, but she doesn't carry around all their jackets.
You still have the jacket I gave you.
Of course I do.
I know you're probably wondering why I'm here.
It's always a pleasure to see you, but yes, I'm curious.
I've set up a show for you in the South Pacific.
America?
Well, Honolulu.
Ooh, I've never been there before.
The only problem is we have to leave tonight after you're done with your guests. And you'll be away for a couple of weeks. Do you think that Sasha and Fenrir and Mick can do without you?
I look over to them. Do you think you guys will be able to, and I specifically, as I'm saying this, looking at Fenrir, be able to take care of everything while I'm gone?
I'm sure that me and Sasha will be able to take care of the problem. Mick,
No problem.
he can tag along if he needs to, but we'll see.
Yes, of course. I'll have Alice take care of the shop. I will get a few things together, and yes, Do we leave? We leave tonight, you said?
Yes, as soon as you're ready.
Okay. Not the problem then.
Mick, your phone goes off.
All right. I open it up and I check it, and I like stand off to the side.
As you open it up, it is from Mickelson. 911. Meet us at the safe house.
I'm sorry to be leaving so early, but I need to head out. It looks like I got a call.
Well, I understand that is important, and you need to make sure that it stays under wraps. So,
Don't die.
All right, and remember, if you need anywhere investigated, let me know, and I'll send the boys round and see if anything turns up. Could be a good way to get rid of some people.
we'll see. I'll see if I need any help.
Be safe, Nick.
I will.
So, Mick, you head out.
Yeah.
You go to the appointed location of the safe house. You enter in, and it's dark. And you reach for where the light switch is, and you flip it up, and the lights normally come on. But they don't.
I call out to see, like, hello, is anyone there? And I reach for the flashlight on my gear.
You reach for the flashlight and you turn it on. The light doesn't penetrate the darkness.
I start backing out towards the doorway, and I put the flashlight away, and I get the UV one in my gun.
Before you can do that, you feel something wrap around you, pulling your arms in place. And something is injected into you. And you lose consciousness.
Rip, he's dead.
Gwen, you finish up with the show. Vlad calls for his car. You get to the airport, and his private jet is there waiting. He helps you onto the plane, and you all start to climb to the desired altitude and fly. He has had everything set up so that the flight will be enjoyable. It is a 24-hour flight. So you will sleep there during the day.
Okay.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. We went a little bit longer because a couple of our players are unavailable next Friday. We will still be broadcasting next Friday. It will be a special 2-vampire game, kind of like an interlude where Sasha and Fenrir have some detective work to do.
The Sasha and Fenrir show!
We will be without Gwen for at least 2 weeks. Mick will not be here next week, possibly the week after that. And then the following week is, of course, the charity event with Jasper's Game Day, so we will not be streaming. I will be in a game run by the amazing and talented Atlanta by Night storyteller Ellie Collins, where I will be trying one of the new clans introduced in the companion that came out earlier this week. I cannot wait for that. And Asking You Shall Receive, there's the information for that. I also have the pleasure of playing in a bi-weekly game with the amazing Fenway Jones, who is one of the founders of the Jasper Game Day. And we will actually be playing this Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on So Many Games. So if you're not doing anything and you're not supporting these lovely people, because I know they have a game on Sunday as well, I believe, stop on in, watch me play my even edgier rogue now, because I switched my subclass thanks to some stuff that happened. But why don't the rest of you, we don't do this normally, but why don't we go ahead and go around, and why don't you give your social medias if you have it, and any shows that you're part of, that way people can come and see you, because of course we're going to be doing this every Friday we can, but you're all also in other stuff, I believe. So why don't we start with Sasha this time, or Mary? Any shows you're in that you want the people, the viewers to come watch that you're in, or just any shows that you suggest.
It would be easier if you started with Ash or Gil, because if they're like in something I'm in that, they're in more stuff than I am in, but like they're gonna cover whatever I'm involved in.
Alright, so I've got an even better idea. Mick, are you, Hudson, are you in anything that
I
you want
don't
people
really
to watch?
have much to promote. I am going to be in Runesmith's game for the charity event, which is going to be really exciting. He's one of the guys that got me into D&D, so it's really cool to be working with him.
Awesome. Alright. Let's go to Fenrir Gilanor.
Well, I obviously run pay-to-play games, D&D, so if anyone's interested in that, you can join my Discord server or this Discord server. I think I spelled Discord wrong. I'm an idiot.
No.
I'm also going to be doing a Thursday streamed game for the Jasper's Game Day. It's the earliest one, the 12 EST to 3 EST. So if you want to join and watch, it's going to be Murder on the Eberron Express. If you've seen the movie Murder on the Orient Express, it's much like that, except for set in Eberron, and it's going to be really interesting and way cooler, because no detective in this one. They all might be the murderer, or they all might not be the murderer. They have to figure it out who the murderer is, and then cast them out like a leper.
I'm the murderer. There, I told everyone. It's out there.
I mean, if you were the murderer, you probably would easily just get killed within 5 minutes of the game, so we'll see. But yeah, that's basically me. I run the Monday Icewind Dale game with Aisha when I do that as well, so, and that's about it. We might have a Thursday game. So I'm looking to see if I can find a Cyberpunk DM. We had a DM. We were talking to them. I'm not sure what's going on there. We'll have to get some information from them, but yeah, might start that.
Sounds good. Ash.
Hey guys, so yeah, I am in Monday's Icewind Dale campaign. I play Evie, the Wood Elf edgelord. Come find out why she's an edgelord. Of course, this amazing vampire, the Masquerade game. Sunday we have the Empower Hour, and then on Tuesday I have a game that I play in that Blue Collar DM runs. So that is twitch.tv/Blue Collar DM. We have been on hiatus for a little bit because he has just arrived baby Blue in his life, so he's been figuring out dadhood. But we did have a game last week, and we may have a game this week, but there's no telling at this point. But yeah, when that gets back, I'll let you guys know. Of course, we have the Empower Hour on Sunday.
Oh yeah, I'm in that too. I forgot.
No one cares about that.
Yes, it's fine. Nobody cares. I care about it.
I care about it too. So yeah, Gil and me does the Empower Hour, and then
which will be Hudson this week because you're going to be out of town.
We are going to talk about that actually here in a minute. Once we get off here, and then for the New Year Mentally Healthier You event. As I said earlier, we have amazing DMs and players. Gil will be doing the first game to start off the stream. He'll be doing Thursday at 12. And
The best game, obviously. I mean,
I will be in a few as well, and he will also be in several.
Yep.
So we're excited to see you guys, and if you want to help out a player in there, you can be giving some rerolls, some advantages. If you want to screw over a player, which is always fun, you can be giving some disadvantages.
Just
or
disadvantage to Ash all day, every day. Please.
I roll like crap anyway. So what are you saying?
So, joke's on you.
But if you're not catching me on a Twitch stream, you can find me at Ashley the Bard on Twitter, and pretty much that across everything else. Or are you sure you want to do that?
And Mary, who refuses to, so I'll do it for her, is the amazing artist that did all the art for our characters that are next to us. She does maps. She does maps of regions, maps of battle maps, whatever. She does it. She does art, and she's the one that does all the cool art. So yeah, she'll hopefully.
Except for I'm not doing it right now because I'm having a crisis.
Well, everybody needs breaks. I needed a break. I took a vacation. You were working almost every day, so yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah.
All right.
And I just want to say I want everyone to have a very happy and safe New Year. Have a very Merry Christmas to everyone that celebrates it. I hope everyone who had a happy Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, and I don't know the rest, but I hope you have very, very Merry holidays.
So much
If you
easier
have a
to say.
birthday, have a happy birthday. If you're having, a happy quinceañera, have a happy quinceañera.
All of that really good stuff.
And with that, I'm Darth Drury. You guys have a happy holiday, and we'll see you next week if you want to come watch us. We're going to have fun. Me, Mary, and Gilanor are going to solve some crimes, and I'll probably get away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids and that gangrel too.
If it wasn't for the meddling kids and that dog, because I'm bringing Wolf.
So
I might try to tune in and just be texting Sasha or something.
I'm just wondering, if they're gonna let me bring my dog into the hospital. I'm gonna pass him off as one of those dogs that's supposed to come into hospitals as a
ESA.
Support.
Yeah, support doggo.
Support dog. Yep.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Well, I've had a blast as always.
And thank you for running.
Be kind to each other. You are welcome. It is my pleasure. Everyone, remember to be kind and love each other.
Thanks for running. Thanks for playing. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.